right, people, you know what time it is. This is the We-On-Loc Nation channel representing the B sector 8, of course. And of course, I have my own faction. It's called the Lock sector. So, any one of those, we're very peaceful people. All we have is good conversations and not none of that dull ass bullshit that they be going on, weirdo bullshit. And speaking of weirdo, uh, uh my name is Lemonhead. Oh, excuse me, my bad. My name is Lemonhead. And I just want to say, Umar, I'm disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in you because you blocked me on Instagram. Mm, yeah. I woke up this morning and something was wrong with my browser. Oh, now I went to my Instagram, one of my Instagrams, many of my Instagrams, even though I don't go to Instagram, and I dreamt about Umar the other day, and I just wanted to see what he was up to. Hmm, hmm. Lo and behold, uh, he blocked me on Instagram. Hmm, hmm. He blocked me on Instagram. I don't know if he hates me or not, but he blocked me on Instagram. Fucking weirdo. This dude is a weirdo, straight up. Anyway, welcome to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. He's live right now. He's live right now as we speak, and still doing content after so many years. It's like somebody like Anton. He doesn't do content on Umar that much. Not like this guy. You catch a couple of videos and he like, hints at Umar every now and again, but he doesn't do extensive content like Umar content like Lennon does. Lennon that's his only bread and butter. Because if he think about it, I'm gonna leave it alone at this moment. If he didn't have Umar content, what other content will he have? What other content? Who is he gonna talk about? Other than the people, he think that if he talks about a certain individual, he makes content on certain individuals, constant contact, that person is not gonna make content back. You must be crazy. So off with him. I ain't know how to present this. I thought about it and thought about it, and I said, wow, I don't know how to present this. I don't know how to, for a presentation to presentate to y'all. I don't even know how to do this. I'm stuck until the riots came. Riots came, and it's still ongoing. And you have approximately 700 Marines stored. This is crazy. Unfortunately, not our fight. This is not our fight. This is not our fight. I mean, I do feel, but this does raise the question. It raises the question: what would happen if we were in that position? And then you have coons all everywhere saying, "Oh, well, oh, bad him, bad him. He doesn't represent the black community. We represent America, whatever." But overall, these immigrants, Mexicans, I wish y'all the best, man. I really do. I wish y'all the best. Y'all destroying y'all destroying your own properties and just looting and setting bomb fires to cars. That's something that we used to do. But the difference is we didn't receive any help from you motherfuckers. So all I got to say is draw your own swords. Hopefully you get the best. And it looks like it's looking kind of worse for y'all. And don't get me wrong, Donald Trump is an asshole. He is a straight up asshole. But at this moment, I'm just sitting back eating some popcorn and watching the fireworks. I'm just watching the fireworks. Talk about free us now, free us now. How ironic. Free us now. Where did that come from? But anyway, as I started thinking about that moment, and then these Negroes come, right? Let me explain a little bit to you about these FBA cults. These FBA cults are the real one. Well, I wouldn't say the real ones, but they are uh, advocating for division. They're advocating for division because there are some who advocate for uniting with not just our people over here, but the forces that be in Africa. And they don't like that. They're like, oh, they don't care about it. Fool, you was stupid. You was really stupid. You're just affected by the few that say that to the you're affected. No, let me say that again. You're affected by the few that tell the many that they ain't shit. You're affected by the few that tell the many that you're lazy, that you're good for nothing, that you blah 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 blah. You're affected by the very few. So you want to put all of those Africans, Jamaicans, Haitians, you want to put them all in one box. You're going to need each other because what's so. Let me ask you a question. What's so foundational about you? You know that word foundation is another word for phenomenal. Foundational. What is so foundational about you? That'll be the question. And then I went to sleep and woke up. Then these Negroes here come straight out of comic books. They come straight out of a comic strip. And I just want to ask the question, what the fuck is wrong with
benefits? Y'all all hop, skip, and jump over here. You've all fled your homelands, and you all get some type of brownie points for coming down on foundational Black Americans. See, notice Dr. Kubar starting to calm down with all that talk, y'all. He's starting to chill out with that. When all that time he was talking about, oh, Julio was coming over here to replace us. Yeah, guess who else was right next to Julio? Mr. Mutombo. We seen him. I done showed y'all footage at the border where Mr. Mutombo's right here and Mr. Julio's right here. They're side by side. So you can't separate the Hernandez from the Jollof. Jollof and Hernandez have been teaming up to take what foundational Black Americans have created. That is exactly what's happening. So if you notice now, Dr. Kubar is starting to pivot off of some of his anti-immigration talk. And he's starting to lightweight sound like he's pro-immigration. Family, who's more pro-immigration than the Democratic Party? Yeah, this is all starting to sound very, very familiar, y'all. See, a lot of people were confused at first.
Negro, he doesn't care no more about the left, more he cares more about the right. What are you talking about?
They said, why the hell is Dr. Umar on Monday saying that he's so anti-immigration but he's out here promoting the fact of bringing all of these Africans to the United States of America.
Because those are our brothers and sisters, you idiot.
Not forget this, fam. Dr. Umar's a guy who got on a podcast about a year ago and openly said he understands why people come over here and dislike foundational Black Americans. Y'all heard it. Remember, Dr. Umar got on the podcast and he started saying, well, you know, I can understand why some people come over here and they don't like what foundational Black Americans are doing because
he didn't mention y'all by name. No, he didn't.
FBA ain't really ever built anything. Remember that. He was providing protection for all of them. That's what he was doing. Dr. Kubar provided a lot of protection for all of them people from over there. And now he's trying to flip-flop. And if you don't think what you just heard about they're going to come and deport us through the prison system isn't a Democratic talking point, well, goddamn it, who's more Democratic shield than Holland Martin? Who is more Applebee's than Holland Martin? Damn it, let's let the
Now, I do agree with that.
cameras roll. Listen to this. Remember, Roland Martin said the same exact thing about how we're going to get deported. Watch this, fam. Fair use, fair use. Watch Roland Martin, and he's echoing the same sentiments that Dr. Kubar is. Watch.
Eugene, I remember a whole bunch of these loudmouth FBA Negroes saying, oh, yeah, they can't deport us. They can deport them. They can't deport us because we foundational Black Americans. What it sounds to me like, oh, we gonna export you. We gonna call it deport, but we gonna ship some Black people to El Salvadorian prisons.
And look, he's saying you need 5 more of these things, and I believe that prison hosts 100,000 people. The issue is here, right? We're already in a constitutional crisis. When you have a president that openly just disrespects the rule of law, you have a Supreme Court that included Alito and Clarence Thomas ruling with a 9-0 majority that the United States government needs to facilitate bringing this gentleman back. When you have a president that is now saying that district courts have no say over what happens over the executive branch, yeah, folks should probably be more than a little worried, right? Because
Oh, if the president was dumb enough to do it, which he's not going to do because he needs Black people, right? Supposedly, allegedly. But if he really were to be that dumb and actually pull the trigger, he would have to sign off some type of executive order, which they won't allow him to do that. They will not allow him to do that shit. I forgot what the act was called because when I was watching the riots the other day, some dude was commenting on it and said that Blacks can be that well, number one, hey Tanya, the National Guard that was already on the ground can't arrest people. Yeah, they can't, but technically they can, due to the order of which Donald Trump's dumbass can actually sign an executive order, but it needs to be voted upon. Though this one needs to be voted upon, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. Things can happen. I'm not saying things can happen. I'm not saying that they will. I'm saying that they can. So watch that shit.
As you know, first to start with the personal.
The people right now is just acting stupid because apparently they just come over here on the women and expecting that man, Donald Trump ain't going to deport me because I've been here 10, 20 years old. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You are technically a legal immigrant. Legal, illegal, doesn't matter. Your visa expires, you're considered illegal. So unless you want knew that shit, bye. He doesn't care. Donald Trump does not care.
Those here illegally, then it went to the protected status person.
No, hell no. And who's this guy? Because that goddamn non-existent hairline, I can't even say he got a hairline. That shit is, that is non-existent. Okay, I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. Listen to the fear-mongering, man. They better be ready now. Oh, because first it started with him, and then them over there. Nah, Gone are the days of these people trying to tangle us in with all these other folks. You can go ahead and you can take that and cancel it. Foundational Black Americans ain't got a goddamn thing to do with any of these deportations. These deportations is a political situation that need not apply to us, so I need not any of them to talk about it. Look how they're trying to scare us the same way Kubar was.
Then it went to a green card holder, and now he's already laid out and straight up said, look, we're going to eventually send homegrown U.S. citizens here. And the thing...
Homegrown, y'all heard that?
Wait a minute. Is that same dude that challenged Umar the other when he was on Roland Martin's show the other day? He's lost a lot of weight. He's lost a hell of a lot of weight, but he looked cracked out.
Who else said homegrown, fam? Y'all know I got receipts. Did Dr. Kubar not say homegrown as well? And did this non-hairline having Democratic shield just say homegrown? Fam, are they using the same language with the same rhetoric, with the same talking points and the same narrative, all at the same lineage, FBA, all with the same lie, deportation? Fam, we got them all on camera. They on candid camera, and we calling all of them out. And remember, Dr. Kubar is a tether, and so is Roland Martin. So don't let
you have a problem with Dr. Umar, that's on you.
them folks sit there and battle.
But I would love for Mr. Mink Slide to come on. Mr. Mink Slide ain't got no plans for you. Mr. Mink Slide does not have plans for you. Mr. Glow in the Dark, Mr. I'm gonna go ahead and marry an immigrant. I'm gonna go ahead and marry an immigrant type nigga. Mr. Pimpin', like he's been pimping ever since he's been pimping, is pimping y'all over a fucking museum. Grandioso. We're doing stuff foundational. Yeah, great.
Kill each other all damn day long because that ain't nothing but tether on tether crime. Because what it seemed like is they may go back and forth with each other, but when it come down to wanting FBA out of America.
Oh, I almost forgot. The big day, well, not so much the big day is Tanya. Salute to you and your family. It's a sad day, but you'll be okay. You will bounce back, and we'll definitely be praying for you. We will definitely be praying for you.
They get on the same page. That's why they're using the same words like homegrown.
U.S. citizens here. And the thing is this, right? The Constitution only protects you as long as everybody respects it. And we're at a point where Donald Trump is openly saying, after the Supreme Court, after district courts, after the Constitution, card holder, and now he's already laid out and straight up said, look, we're going to eventually send homegrown U.S. We're going to eventually send homegrown. We're going to eventually send homegrown U.S. citizens here. And the thing is this, right? The Constitution only protects you as long as everybody respects it. And we're at a point where Donald Trump is openly saying, after the Supreme Court, after district courts, after the Constitution, after your actual rights, what he says is law. And he has a full staff and no guardrails there to stop him this time around. So yeah, these FBA folks, they either set out the election or they're standing on some other type of business. They might want to get their shit together pretty quickly. We can say you could be next.
Get the hell up out of here. You better be next to get you a hairline transplant. You better push Akon out the way and go get you one of them Senegal FBA.
Why are you hating on Akon, nigga?
Synthetic hairlines. That's what you better worry about next, fam. Ain't nobody deporting us, fam. Let's make this crystal clear. This is nothing more than an attack on our lineage. I want everybody to think about that, and I want you to identify it as such. These are attacks on our lineage so these people can try to take our place. Notice, fam, it's always coming from the tethers. The tethers, fam. I don't give a damn what tether you are or where you tether from. It all goes back to these tethers who want to trade places with Black Americans. That's what it's really about, y'all. Fam,
what the fuck are you talking about? If anything, white folks want to replace you with immigrants. White immigrants, that is. Look who just came about 2 weeks ago. You got white refugees trying to, because white people are dying off, and replacing trying to replace the old act and put it in the new act. So the young or the middle age can make babies and trying to even up the score a little bit. But for me to tell it, there's only 60 of them. Well, right now, there's only 60 white South Africans that came into the United States. And now automatically they're citizens. But look at it this way. It takes 60, and it only takes, I said that wrong. It only takes 60 to make a series of clones. It only takes 60 people to make a series of clones look like them to overthrow you over time. Over time, indeed. And this is one of the reasons why Mexicans are doing what they're doing right now. And quite frankly, it's not working to their favor, because like I said, either or, one way or the other, you're getting on that bus. You're going to get on that bus, you're going to be deported, and you're going to be treated accordingly. But because you want to go ride and loot and steal and plunder like the dumbasses that you are, clearly you put yourself in this position. But wait, ain't these this? I almost forgot to ask. Aren't these the same immigrants that voted for Donald Trump? Yikes!
Places with foundational Black Americans, because they know that when it comes down to staying here in America, they about to go home and they want our position. And when I say they want our position, they also change positions. See, remember Dr. Umar was running around here and he was talking about anti-immigration, deportations. And when people started saying, well, yeah, them Africans is going to get deported right along with the Mexicans. Now he starts doing a little flip-flop. Now he starts to twist and turn it, y'all. You don't believe me when I tell you that Dr. Umar did a complete role reversal in terms of immigration.
Where's the clip, Negro? Why you hip hop skipping it back going on back and forth and all that other shit? Where's the clip?
Watch this right here, family. I told y'all we're going 100 miles an hour. Already dropped 3 receipts. Here come number 4. Watch Dr. Kubar right here, family, and watch how he openly states that the Hispanics and the Africans basically are one of the same. And basically, he thinks that these people have a right to.
Aren't the Hispanics Africans?
Be here in the United States of America. You can't make this up.
I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me. Donald Trump isn't doing this to help the government. Donald Trump is purging the government financially to help corporate America, to help big business. The more people he cuts off, from relevant social safety net programs, food stamps, WIC, housing, Social Security.
Who gets, okay, we all know that white folks get the same amount or even more, apply more than black folks do when it comes to WIC, SNAP, food stamps, hell, even unemployment. You know they do that more than us. But that also includes black people.
Security. The more he cuts, the more that the underclass, the working class, the disabled class, the oppressed class will have to go enslave for corporate America. He wants all hands on deck for the corporations. He needs all hands on deck for the corporations. He's not doing this to help the government. He's a businessman. He is a capitalist. He's doing this to help the corporations. This purge is to force you into corporate slavery.
Here we go, fam. He's talking about immigration, y'all.
So, can you debunk what he said was wrong? What do you think they're doing right now, Goofy? Just the goofies that go online and get a whole bunch of. Never mind.
He's talking about immigration, and he's setting this up to tell you that once the Mexicans is gone, all black folks gonna have to do those jobs. Kubar, that is directly out of the Democratic playbook. That is some demo.
So who the fuck is gonna do the jobs? Let's just say they move all the Mexicans out. There's not one Mexican in sight. Dumbass. Who's going to do the fucking jobs? Between black and white, who's going to do the jobs? What you got a plan that all the whites are going to do the jobs and all of a sudden we're left with reparations? Get the fuck out of here.
Democratic Shield talking points. Watch this, fam. He's about to tell us that if the Mexicans are gone, then FBA is going to have to go out there in them fields and do that work. And he's giving you this whole diatribe about how the corporations are involved and Donald Trump's taking away programs, all of that to say this.
It is not to save the government money. Brothers and sisters, please wake up and smell the coffee. This is all a grand scam for corporate America. It is a grand scam for corporate America. And because he is deporting illegals.
Look, he had to get his thoughts together. Look, fam, you know he making it up. Because what was the lie again? Hold on, what was I gonna say? What was the narrative? How can I get FBA to leave their homeland behind? Look at him, fam. He got to think about it.
Man, get off FBA nuts.
He got to think about it. It stopped flowing. He ran through all of that stuff. And then the corporations and Donald Trump, and he don't care. Soon as he gets to deportation, then he freezes up. Okay, he started Kubar glitching. Family started scam African glitching because he know he about to tell a lie. And watch this lie right here, fam, which is a complete role reversal from what he said.
What's the lie? What is the lie? Again, dumbass. Unless you're a fucking millionaire, who's going to do those jobs? Who's going to do the big corporate jobs? Who's going to do the computers? Who's going to do the art crafting? Who's going to do the plumbing? Who's going to do the electric? Who's going to do all these things to keep America afloat? Who's going to keep the money running? You? Motherfuckers, most of you motherfuckers can't even read past the 6th grade. You're going to have to be educated at some point. For those who do get the education, you get fucked over. Depending on what city and state you're in, you totally get fucked over. The goalpost always moves when it comes to black people. Always moves. Trust me, I know. I've been in that position before. But this idiotic fool doesn't even know what he's talking about. He just clinging to that FBA nonsense. Divided, we will fall. Telling you.
A year ago about immigration. Now he's saying that if foundational black Americans don't get deported through the prison system, then foundational black Americans are going to have to do the jobs of Mexicans. Watch it, fam. He said it. Cameras is rolling.
He is deporting illegals and even legals. Because of his deportation agenda, he needs you to work even more. Because if they're going to get rid of excess people from this country, those people that they are getting rid of are the ones who are working under the table. They are the ones who are working for less than minimum wage.
Working for less than minimum wage. Who would he indicate? Black people! FDA, Foundation of Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans. Yes, you foundational Black American motherfuckers are going to make the same amount of money that I make. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Y'all come straight out of comic books, bro.
They are the ones who are working without benefits. You cannot get rid of millions of illegals if you don't have anyone to replace them in the corporate slave market.
Bam, you heard it. Hold up. Did he just say that we're going to replace Mexicans, meaning we're going to jump off of this FBA pedestal, go all the way down to picking oranges? Is this what you're saying, Kubar? Is this what you really want to say? Are you that upset because FBA's lineage has completely canceled old, outdated, dried up scam Africanism that you're resorting to this pathetic talking point that we gonna be Mexicans tomorrow?
You know, the moment you keep talking about yourself, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The moment you keep talking about Pan-Africanism, you know you're mentioning yourself, right? Yeah. The moment you keep calling out the same way you keep calling out black women, the same way you keep talking about yourself. The more it's like when you disrespect women, you're obviously disrespecting yourself, fam. Oh, salute. Damn, it's been a while, my nigga. Well, how you been?
Hell no.
Millions of illegals if you don't have anyone to replace them in the corporate slave market. You must always have a large population of cheap labor in order for capitalism to survive. I need y'all to hear me well. Capitalism only works where you have poor people whose labor.
He ain't saying nothing different than the average person would actually say. He's basically saying if Donald Trump deported all the Mexicans are out, who's going to left to do the slave labor? Eventually, at some point, you got all the Latinos, all the Arabs, pretty much any and everybody who's not born in this country. You're going to find out sooner than later that once he gets everybody out that's unnecessary, even including the Arabs or whoever, it's just going to be black and white. And why does he want to savor blacks? The same reason why your slave master wanted to savor the blacks. Labor. And what did labor replicate? Money. For every slave was 60 cents. Every slave, including me if I'm wrong, my math is completely off. Slaves were what? 50 cents? Were worth 50 cents? So, of course, every particular slave master had the biggest, strongest slave, right? On down to the weakest slave. The slave men and the slave women. And they all cost, right? So what do you think to this day, with all the cheap forced labor, all the Mexicans were doing, and not even asking for a dime, not even asking for an extra dime, not even asking for an extra dollar, but Donald Trump, along with these white supremacists, know our worth. But somebody's gonna have to do the work, right?
You can't exploit.
Family. This man has crossed the line of the loony bin. Okay, so you heard it right there, Dr. Cooper.
Why don't you debate him? You can't.
Kumar just said it. He said straight up, by de facto, he implied, and he basically straight up said that foundational Black Americans, we're going to be Mexicans now. So on the left hand, he told us that we're going to get deported with the Mexicans. And then on the right hand, he said when the Mexicans are gone, we're going to be picking the fruit like the Mexicans do.
He was talking about the Africans, and I'm nuts.
Now, so Dr. Kubar doesn't see us as certified foundational Black Americans, the strongest lineage, heritage, and culture on the planet Earth, the one stop that's preventing global supremacy from dominating. He doesn't see us as the creators and the perseverers and the excellence that we are. No. He sees us tomorrow as Julio. So he feels all of.
I see y'all as certified crackheads. That's what I see y'all as. Because what you saying, dog, is just straight out. You just put on the Mink Slide album after this. He gonna be dancing to that shit. He gonna be dancing the Tariq Nasheed's Mink Slide album. How many of y'all niggas got that Mink Slide album on deck, y'all? Pimping since pimping been pimping.
Some of us are going to be Julio tomorrow. And this is what I'm saying about them pushing the deportation lie. They always talk about, well, deportation starts off with this person and then that person, then it go to that person. And then they end up bringing it always back to us, family. Aren't there a lot of poor W's? How come they're never saying this to the W's, family? Think about this now. They want to sit there and say how homegrown citizens can be deported if they commit a crime through the prison system, right? How about the homegrown W's who do all types of crimes? How come you're not always talking about them getting deported? How come you're always talking about Black Americans? Fam, you ask these people about deportation, they skip over the W's and they skip over the illegals. These folks skip over the illegals when it comes to deportation and focuses on us. You could easily sit right here and tell the whole world how easily it could be for Brad or Chad or Karen or Ken. Go look at the FBI crime statistics. They do a lot of crime. They can all get sent back to their homelands. How you always talking about FBA though? Why you always talking about? Notice, family, this lets you know if you want an indicator or confirmation that this is all about people coveting our citizenship. I would know this by the fact they only bring up deportation when it comes to us. They only talk about bending the Constitution when it comes to us. They only skip over the 14th Amendment come to us. They always skip over being the indigenous people when it comes to us. Everybody else, they don't never want to say nothing. But when it comes to us, then it's into fear mongering. Nice try.
The illegals were just that. The illegals were the poor, cheap labor that corporate America was exploiting.
The illegals were? The illegals were. Listen now, fam. He's talking about the illegals in past tense. Listen to how past tense he is. He going extra. Man, you laying the fear mongering on thick, Dr. Kubar. The illegals were the small labor. The illegals were the cheap labor. The illegals were the problem. Now it's all of y'all Black Americans. This whole rant is only trying to scare us again because they want us to leave so Mr. Mutombo can come and take my house in Georgia.
See how ignorant you sound? Whatever happened to working together for the greater good or for a bigger cause than what it is right now? What if Donald Trump really wanted to act ignorant? Just think about this. Just think about this. And hear me when I say this. What if Donald Trump wanted to act ignorant? Which he's acting ignorant right now as we speak. But just put yourself just for 1 minute in the Mexican shoes. If they can do that to them, what the hell you think they're gonna do to us that they haven't done already? What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna be the only labor force, or they want to be they don't want to be the only ones that position in power. They want to be the only ones with influence, wealth. They need somebody to work that labor. We all agree that this is turning into something that was back in the 1700s, all the way to the 1900s. We all agree that this is basically he's basically trying to take us back to slavery. We all agree upon that. But for the simple fact that you can't see, you're seeing with a blind eye instead of your third eye, you coon. All you're doing is dividing. There's only we're only 13% of the population, you jackass. You see, this is what's wrong with niggas like this. And I wouldn't be afraid. There wouldn't be a time where somebody would deal with some of you niggas. FBA, foundational Black Americans. When you know foundation only means phenomenal. She's a phenomenal worker. He's a phenomenal art. What you call them? Nutritionist or an architect or nuclear physicist or anything like that. Do you know that Martin? Did you know that Malcolm X was a foundational Black American? No, he was not. Stop! Just stop. What have you done phenomenal other than to clown other people? Clown people who look like you. What have you done? What have you done to help build this country? Zero. Zilch. Other than to run your fucking mouth. I ain't do. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm the foundation of Black Americans. And you can't stop us. We're the number one force in the league of labor. Blah 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 blah. Y'all have not done shit. Nothing. You haven't built anything of significance. All you're doing is dividing. So I'm gonna have to have you step aside, sir. Be with this clown. Which, by the way, you know what? You're gonna force my hand. This dude and other people like him are going to force my hand. I am definitely going to have to bring Brandon up here. I'm gonna send Brandon a note, and I'm gonna have him be up here. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with your dude, yo? What's wrong with your dude, yo? What is wrong with this certified this uppity Negro who's riding around in a Lexus, riding around in a Rolls Royce or some shit, talking about he's foundational. The moment that he riles y'all up, he's back to his little penthouse in the hills in LA, where they're riding right now. He's up in the penthouse with his white wife in the penthouse, just looking down, just sipping on a martini. Y'all must have lost y'all damn mind.
Okay, Otis Redding said left my home in Georgia. He did not say that Mr. Fufu took his place. Let's keep it going.
You really hate yourself, dude. You really do hate yourself. Do you ever look yourself in the mirror and say, why do I hate myself so much? To continuously speak this dummy English. Did you know when you were first here, you didn't speak English? What do Brazilians speak? Aha. What did Brazilians speak? They didn't speak English. So what did you speak? The white man forced you to speak English. It was the first words that came out of your mouth was Master Boss. That was the first words out of your motherfucking mouth.
The illegals were just that. The illegals were the poor, cheap labor that corporate America was exploiting. If they're getting rid of the poor, cheap labor that corporate America was exploiting, who is going to take their place?
Not us. Not foundationals. What you mean who? What you mean who? You ain't talking about us, partner.
Was exploiting, who is going to take their place? They need poor Americans to take their place. They need black people to take their place. And under capitalism, and we've talked about this before, and I'm no socialist at all, I'm a Pan-Africanist, but under capitalism, if your labor cannot be exploited, if your dollar cannot be exploited, you are useless. I want y'all to hear me on this. I said he's cutting the programs so you can replace the illegal immigrants who are being deported.
Damn, he just said it, fam. He went through all of that and he just said it bold at the end. We are going to replace the illegals.
So you can replace the illegal programs so you can replace.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the people in the chat. If they deported the Mexicans, the Hispanics, whatever they call themselves. And next would be possibly the Indians. Next will possibly be the Arabs. Next will possibly maybe it be Chinese, but they're gonna have to deal with a whole bunch of mess with that. But let's just say he was successful in doing that. Let's just say he was successful in doing so. Who would do the labor? Who will be there to do the labor? Think about it. All your Africans are gone. The very few Haitian Americans that are here, they're going to be gone as well. This is what white supremacy banks on. This is what white supremacy does. What numbnuts over here doesn't understand is how white supremacy, white globalism, how it works and how it operates. So who's going to do the picking of the litter? Who's going to do the sweeping? Who's going to do the breastfeeding? You remember from back in those days when old Big Mama used to breastfeed these ugly ass white kids? Yes, I said it. Remember how they used to breastfeed these kids? How the white man used to step all over these kids as a mat, as a stool. It was you, fool. Apparently so. We'll be the only one. Oh no, not the foundational black. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
You can replace the illegal immigrants who are being deported.
There you go, family. Dr. Umar just said that foundational black Americans are going to replace the illegal immigrants. Dr. Umar also said that foundational black Americans are going to be deported. He ain't got his stuff together. Your agenda don't even add up. 1 minute, we're going to get deported with them. The next minute, we're going to stay here and do their jobs. Which one is it? Sounds like what it really is that you don't want foundational black Americans in America because you don't like America. That's what it really is, Dr. Kubar. That's really what it is. And you begrudge everybody because you were on the scam African train and the lineage train bypassed you completely. That's what it's really about. And this is why these people want foundational black Americans to not be here anymore, y'all. Because they understand whatever they were doing just isn't working. It's just not working for them. It ain't paying no dividends, and they ain't got nothing in return. So now he's starting to do this complete 360 when it comes to immigration. The man gave us two different things. Y'all notice, fam, in everything that I just played for you, none of that benefited us. You notice that, family? Think about that. Everything that I just played to you, where Dr. Umar straight up said, we're going to get deported, and then he said, we're going to take the deported people's jobs. None of this benefits foundational black Americans. All of this is doom and gloom. It's all doom and gloom. But as he talks about us in that way, we uncovered some more receipts about Dr. Umar and his complete reversal, how he now pro-immigration. And he's also starting to sound very, very pro-immigrant. I'm not talking about just African immigrants. Watch him here say that the hardest workers in America are Mexicans. Yeah, if you can't believe what you're hearing, if you can't see this complete role reversal, if you can't identify the narrative switch that Dr. Umar has had over the last 6 months, here you go, family. Dr. Kubar now is pro-Mexican.
Well, let's just see what he says, and let's just see if he's right.
Dr. Umar is pro-Julio because he's anti-FBA.
I've never seen anybody
watch this in return.
So harder than an African in Africa. I'll pause because if I'm answering just for the United States, I'm going with the Mexican. Absolutely. I've never seen anyone
who works the hardest.
I'm going to say the African in Africa. I've never seen anybody hustle harder than the African in Africa. I'll pause because if I'm answering just for the United States, I'm going with the Mexican. Absolutely. I've never seen anyone hustle harder in America than the Mexican. Absolutely. I've never seen anyone hustle harder in America than the Mexican. Absolutely. I've never seen anyone hustle.
It's cute that you would take a little snippet of the clip. Instead of just taking a snippet of the clip, why don't you play the entire thing? Not the entire thing, but play a minute of it and see if it makes sense to you. Let me see. And by that, I already listened to this. So what he was basically trying to say was that the African does work hard um in his country, in his uh, continent. He does work hard in this continent. But in the United States of America, you have no choice but to say Mexican, because that's all they do hire are Mexicans. Because number one, they're cheap and they're cheap. White folks already know this is not a gotcha. White folks already know that they owe you too much. That's why they always want to throw in rules and regulations and all this other type of shit right at us, and it's trying to throw the workforce labor on us like we're some cheap whores or something, which they know one of these days we're going to come across a real good lawyer, a couple of real good lawyers, and we're going to go down to Washington and we're going to force these people to give us the money that is deserved per capita. Per capita. Yes, I'm talking about reparations, but in order for us to get reparations, family, you're going to have to get it through blood. They're not going to give it to you legally. You're going to have to give it through blood. But we're just so that damn divided. It's like it's a waste of time. It is a waste. Like my brother Kevin said, it's a damn waste. But yes, Mexicans do work harder than you. I'm sorry. I am so sorry to say. It's sad, but it's true. Tell me one Negro, one black man actually, that does work harder than the Mexicans. If he was getting the education, the proper education, which none of them want to give the education, everything is always, the goalpost is always being moved. The goalpost is always being moved to have these people come in for free, have these people work for free. All they have to do is get their little license, get their little green card, and they're good. And they get paid more. If you don't believe me, come down to California, come down to Nevada, come down to New Mexico. On the Pacific Coast, on the region where I'm from, and you will see more of them and less than you. And it's been like that for decades. Where do you think they come over the border from? The south of the border. Because they ain't too tough enough to handle business down where they from. But they want to come over and take over your shit. And quite frankly, they can do so without even flicking an eyeball. But we have to go through hoops and we got to go through all this other technical shit. Trust me, I've been educated before. I've been educated. I've been through 3 fucking schools, and they have not yet given me the work. They have not yet given me the work that I deserve. I've gone through too much. I've been through too much for them to look me over because I am certified. I am complete certified with carpentry. I have a certificate of completion for HVAC. But I asked them, I said, just give me this opportunity. No, we can't find nobody at this particular time, but you had no problem hiring Jose. So fuck them, let them leave. But the one thing you don't understand is they can do the exact same thing to you. He doesn't believe that in order for them to build the rest of America, in order them to build a rest of America, KKK, they need you. They need your resources, you dumb cock. Why do people not understand that?
Hustle harder in America than the Mexican. But if you say globally, yeah, okay. I've never seen anyone hustle harder than the African in Africa, not even the Mexican.
So in Africa and around the world, they are the hardest workers. here in the United States of America, it's Mexicans. Damn, FBA, we ain't nowhere there. I mean, didn't we kind of build this whole country, fam? I mean, didn't certified foundational Black Americans create the United States of America?
Yeah, when they brought your black ass over here, I guess roots wasn't even real. I guess
America, and this.
I guess Roots wasn't even a real, an actual movie that was actually a real thing. I guess we just glossed over that. I guess we just glossed over the not the Mayflower, but what was this thing called? Let me see. The first slave ship that brought people from over the Atlantic was called the Jesus of Hembrook. Jesus of Hembrook was involved in the Atlantic slave trade and smuggling under John Hawkins. He successfully organized four voyages in West Africa and the Western Indies between 1562 and 1568. Early in his career, he led an expedition in which he violently captured 300 slaves, 300 Black Africans in the Sierra Leone, and sold them to the Spanish plantations in the Americans. So in other words, he took your land, he took your name, he took your religion, and he smothered it, remixed it, and gave it back to you. Now you're a part of the Americas. So what's so foundation about that? Well, a few minutes of this.
This man just straight up said Mexicans work harder than us, fam. That sounds like some Democratic Shield talking points. What do they always say, fam? Whenever they come down on FBA, they tell us what? Work harder. Work harder. Well, I'm saying, these people come over here from these foreign countries, they steal from us. Work harder. You just work harder. I came here with nothing. How come you don't have anything? You need to work harder. Did Dr. Kubar just give us the scam African version?
See, this is the problem. This is the problem with Negroes like this. You end up running into the very few that act out because they're getting money from a place that they couldn't even get money from. The very few, the minority, not even the majority, the minority. And you're saying all these particular things that most of Africans, they even look at me and they ask, well, what's wrong with you Black Americans? I'm like, what do you mean? And it's like you have this sort of hatred for this. I don't have no hatred, and I was born in America. I'm born in America, but I don't act American. I was born in America. I have no problems at all. Zero problems with my people who are here. I have no problems with Jamaicans. I have no problems with Haitians. Haitians live right under me, and we're doing just great. We're doing just fine. Maybe he might have a problem with it, but I don't. Now, just because I don't have a problem with it, I'm labeled a tether. Do you know what tether means? We won't get into that.
Work harder? Did he just say that Mexicans are harder workers than foundational Black Americans? Let's make this clear, okay? Working hard and being a hustler is different than you fled your homeland and you need to put some damn tile down or fix the roof so you can get a couple enchiladas tonight, okay, to feed 13 people in your house. There's a big difference, all right? That goes along with the whole foundational Black Americans are lazy. That goes along with the can they stay here? You just heard it. He just straight up told everybody. For those who missed it, Dr. Umar right here says that Mexicans work the hardest in America, completely bypassing us.
Was he wrong?
That's for the United States. I'm going with the Mexican States. I'm going with the Mexican Absolutely. I've never seen anyone hustle harder in America than the Mexicans.
And it's always the tethers, and they're out here trying to talk that we can be deported energy. And y'all seen Donald Trump.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? This is what's so funny. That you seen Tariq Nasheed, right? He's been on Tucker Carlson show on CNN, and just to make a complete ass of himself, Tucker Carlson, even though I don't like Tucker Carlson at all, I don't like Tucker Carlson. He's like number one in my book as being the biggest, no, I lied. It's Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is number one as being the biggest ass on television. Sean Hannity, Morgan Pierce has surpassed you. So you're off my shit list as being number one. So you have Morgan Pierce, Sean Hannity, and of course Tucker Carlson. Now I have not seen Tariq Nasheed on Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity would, sad to say, smoking. I have not seen him on Piers Morgan. He would just gaslight. I have seen him on Tucker Carlson show. And on Tucker Carlson, he tried to act political, but there's nothing political about him. No, sir. He's pimping ever since pimping been pimping. Hell, he stole his pimping from an actual original pimp, but I ain't gonna get into all that. He stole foundational. Well, first, he was foundational. He had plenty of other things that he could steal. He stole from Lisa, what's your homegirl's name? I forgot. Homegirl with the loud mouth that cusses all the damn time. Michi X. Now, I don't take too fond of Michi either, because but if I had to have a conversation with any old body, I guess I wouldn't have a problem with Michi X. I don't have a problem with Michi X at all. Other than when she comes after Umar, then I gotta get with her. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is at this point. He just goes on Tucker Carlson show and acts a complete ass. Doesn't answer any straight questions, but he knows how to pimp the system. That's just what he does. So when he pimped y'all, and I want to give a shout out to Nathan Daly. When Nathan Daly visited that museum of his, which is, I think it's audited or something like that, he looked in there, and he looked in there, and he's there with nothing but comic books. Nothing but freaking comic books, comic strips, and his own collection of videotapes. Don't get me wrong. I didn't see Butt Breaking, but I did see 1804. Congratulations. Hidden Colors, you probably stole that too. But I definitely appreciate Hidden Colors. But you went on further, and you went on further with it. Now everybody want to be, I don't understand these people. Everybody want to be a goddamn Indian. Everybody want to be a goddamn FBA, Adolfs. They don't want to be a nigga. They do not want to be a nigga. I swear be all for mighty God. They do not want to be who they are. And that's Pan-African. Pan-African only means global, you freaking idiot. What are these people? You see, the frustration only gets you your words going this way and it's separate. You're separating your words, so that's why you gotta stay in one place. But I can't stand these cults. I just can't stand them. As I said, and Lisa and others can confirm this. United we stand, divided we fall. If we were, it would be better. It would be better if we just work together as one people, right? Get all these whites packing. I mean, just delete all the Ku Klux Klan and the skinheads. Send the rest of them packing. Send the rest of the mothers and the children. And if we have to do a Nat Turner, then goddamn it, we'll do a Nat Turner. But I would rather send these people packing, go back to Europe or wherever their people were from, and then once we get everything established over here, then we can go back to all this foolishness. Who are we? Are we the Israelites? Are we the indigenous? Are we this? Are we that? We can get back to all of that. Damn right, I need a damn coffee.
Straight up come out and say no. Who's getting deported are not going to be foundational Black Americans. He's not talking about us by no means, but they keep trying to forge that on us. It feels good to be non-deportable. It feels good when you go to bed, you ain't got to worry about ice. The only ice I got to worry about is when I'm going to my freezer to get some ice to put in my drink. That's it. Now the ice.
No, but they can break into your crib and disturb your peace. The police can break into your crib and disturb your peace. I don't understand. It's been done too many times before. It's been done too many times before. I just don't know.
Ice they got to worry about is got the mask on and kicking them damn doors down. You ain't gonna put ice on us, because remember, y'all, when somebody's trying to put this thing of you can be deported, let's go ahead and say this, fam. Everything that they complain about with ICE, everything that they complain about the deportation process, they say how dangerous it is. Well, if it's so damn dangerous, how come you all trying to put that jacket on my lineage? So basically, fam, they're trying to set up for day by their own adage. You can't one minute say how evil ICE is and how it's so terroristic, and then the next minute say, FBI, they're going to get y'all too. Well, that sounds like you're trying to put that energy on me. It sounds like you're trying to set us up to be harmed. So this goes way deeper than people just trying to tell you, well, you know you're going to get deported now. And speaking of people trying to run that lie, y'all look at this right here. Y'all look at this. Check this out, family. It ain't just every day you got tether number 2, 4, and 5. They all have an enormous forehead, a non-existent hairline.
See what I mean? Instead of being logical, you go to these negative connotations. You go to roasted. Nigga, the back of your neck stink. Possum. Pause. Why is it every other time y'all put on extensive cologne and shit, thinking you smelling like the next Michael Kors, or you have the Christian Dior's or some shit? Nigga, you need to wash your neck before you start putting on this other fragrant shit. Whatever happened to that black soap that y'all produce? Oh, the Africans produce the black soap. Is that the ones that you steal it from? If you're gonna steal some black soap from the Africans, use it, cause y'all stink. Y'all stink, and take off them goddamn glasses. Why y'all wearing glasses in the house, my niggas?
Or they look like they got some Fruit Loops in their tank. Speaking of that, who the hell is this guy? Fam, do y'all know who this dude is? This man looks like an extra from a...
He looked like a reincarnated Alexander O'Neal. I can't. You criticize my lifestyle.
Maxi Priest video from 1990. I don't know who this man is, but it goes to show y'all again. Every day there's a new tether and the tethers are out here trying to put deportation on foundational Black Americans. You cannot put deportation on the non-deportables. Put deportation.
ICE deporting people is just bad overall. ICE, right? But the flip side of that is they could deport American citizens. So what does that mean? The FBA could be deported. Wouldn't it be funny if they deported FBA to Africa?
I wouldn't mind that. Take me to Ghana. I would definitely feel at home.
Like send them to Zimbabwe or Nigeria. Imagine.
Hey, just keep me away from that deadly water. Which, oh, by the way, I want to give a big ups to Abraham Cheribre for designing the dams to have that water deport all over parts of Africa, so they can have good, not only good running water, but they can also have created the food and everything. You build the crops, you grow fruit, you grow food. I can't speak this afternoon. If you grow the food from good crops, from good water, you have what's called good source. So shout out to Cheribre on that.
They ran on a platform to deport people. Let me be sending these tethers back. Get these tethers back to Jamaica, the Caribbean, Africa.
Why this man got some twist comb over? This man got a comb over with some twist. I have never in my life seen no damn comb over with twist in your hair. Man, you better quit worrying about FBA. You better get that damn tether salon is where the hell you better go. Because FBA, yeah, this old Milli Vanilli dude. This old Milli Vanilli dude trying to talk about foundational Black. Which one are you? You Milli or Vanilli? Which one are you, partner? Because you damn sure can't talk about foundational Black Americans. Look at him, fam.
The next thing, a Black American, African American FBA member gets deported to Africa. Anyway, man, big up my Black Americans, big up my African Americans. Y'all know I love all of y'all, but FBA, ooh, I can't wait for y'all to get deported. I can't wait.
White Haitians, nice try. Family, don't let these people try to tell you that it was anybody other than white Haitians who came here.
I'm so mad that mother just said that Haitians will never be Black Americans. The United States made their first census in 1790 because so many Haitian people were fleeing there from the Haitian and French Revolution, where they were colonized because they were taken from their homelands in France and Haiti and taken to France. And so when the revolution popped off, they came to the United States, and that, with the influx of refugees, is what the United States used to make their census. So Haitian people are the only Black Americans, the original
Hell no.
Black Americans of the.
Bingo! If you're going to do your research, please do your research properly. Everybody look up 1804. As a matter of fact, I don't have it on me, but I will read it to you at some point in the near future. But she is absolutely correct.
United States, who formed their census in 1790. The United States admits that when they enacted the Bureau of 1865, entitled, they want you to think it's called the Freedmen's Bureau. It's called the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands. Refugees. Haitians are the only and the first Black Americans.
Nah, no, hell no.
Because
family, she full of it. She don't even know what she's talking about. Fam, she don't even know what she's saying. First and foremost, you notice how somebody could tell a lie and we could just catch them in the lie while they saying it. See, they don't like us, fam, because we be catching them in lies before they even get it out. They be like 2/3 through and we already got them, right? Notice how they talk this thing now where all the Haitians came here and they fled. Family, when they got here, after the Haitian Revolution, okay, they claimed that all these Black Haitians, there was a bunch of white people from Haiti. Who left? As a matter of fact, doesn't that tell you? So wait a minute. You ran out all of the French, but you ran with them? So wait a minute. rid of all the colonizers, and when the colonizers ran to America, you run away. That sounds like you still really sad. Pretty sad.
Are there such things as white Haitians? Why does it always come to this? Why does it always come to this? White South Africans, even though they're not white, they are Europe. They have colonized Africa ever since the 1500s. But I digress. But white Haitians, let's look that up. White Haitians. White Haitians. White Haitians. Where is there such thing as white Haitians? White Haitians predominant or full European descendant? They were approximately 20,000 whites around the Haitian 20,000 whites around the Haitian Revolution, mainly French in Saint de Margoules, whatever the hell that is. They were divided into two main groups: the planters and the planto-bouchers. The first Europeans to settle in Haiti were the Hispanics. So you mean that so let me get this right. The white Haitians came up here. The white Haitians came up here to America to flee? Oh, okay. Let's see if there's proof of that. While I look that up, let's continue this, because this is some juicy stuff.
It didn't go down that way. So when they say that they came here and they said that they were a bunch of Haitians who came here, what the hell did they come here and build, fam? You know what was going on in the United States of America after the Haitian Revolution? Slavery was still going on here. So what the hell were you doing and what were you building in America? What were you building in America? She just sat there and said they came to America while we were still having chattel slavery in America. All right? They start talking about the 1700s, all right? And they start talking about the early 1800s, right? Slavery was still going on here in the United States of America to the 1860s. So don't tell me that you came here to the United States of America and then you were building all these things while we were still slaves. Hell no. You got caught, homegirl. Homegirl, you got caught in a lie. All right. And don't let these people start instituting these laws, because they'll be pulling out papers and stuff. They'll be like, according to the registry of 1329, black really means that you can fly on Tuesdays, and Haitian really means that you walk all day. Get the hell up out of here with your technicalities. Technically, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Technically, you need to sit your ass down. Technically, you ain't nothing but a fleer, a hopper, a skipper, and a jumper. And technically and directly, Black Alpha said that. You can quote it. You cannot have my citizenship. This is my country, and you damn sure aren't going to insert yourself into our affairs.
Okay. While he was rambling and everything going on, the young lady was right. However, the first Haitian immigrant came to the United States was Jean Point du Stablo, who founded the first get whatever the fuck that is settlement in Chicago in 1833. So in 1833 there was still chattel slavery, but 1865 wasn't too far off. 1865 wasn't too far off. So the first document wave of Haitian immigrants in the U.S. became in the early 1900s, so like 1930. Yes, there was still chattel slavery. Yes, there were still immigrants coming into the country, slowly but surely. But they were a part of you. By the time it was all said and done, they were a part of us. They were here. They were hanging from trees just like we were. They were segregated just like we were. They were getting, police stormed by the Ku Klux Klan just like we were. They are a part of us just like we are a part of them. You don't see it as much because of this hatefulish cult that you keep living in. I don't even know what to say to you people anymore. It's ridiculous. We're this in the same company in the same state getting robbed with our monies and our dollars, just like everybody else. The Haitians, they work just as hard as everybody else who is black in America. But yet these people don't think so, all because of one guy who is and pimping ever since he's been pimping. And Tariq Nasheed. Now he's got this dude gassed up. He's got plenty of these people gassed up to do these worthless shows. It's worthless. United we stand, divided we fall. We got a few minutes of this, fam.
And if you want to go back further than that, okay. We were here before slavery. Now what? Now what you got to say? So you want to talk about United States of America?
I don't give a fuck who came first. The chicken or the fucking egg. What fucking difference does it make? You were still getting hung. You were still getting amputated. You still got your right hand clipped off. It doesn't matter who you were. If you were foundational Black American or Adolf, you were still being treated like a goddamn slave.
When America was created on paper? Or do you want to talk about the landmass of the United States of America? Because either way you turn out, it's going to come right on back to us right here, foundational Black Americans. So you can miss me with all the Haiti talk, and you can miss me with the Jamaican talk. You can put foundational in front of every goddamn thing, and it still don't make you a foundational. The only foundationals are foundational Black Americans because we said so. Watch this lie she tells right here as well.
So many Haitian people were fleeing there from the Haitian and French Revolution.
So they fled from a revolution that they won. Listen to this, family. And she bucking them eyes too, boy. Boy, she got them eyes bucking, don't she? Don't she? She out there bucking them eyes crazy. Could they fled from the...
Who did he get that from? He was bugging them eyes, and you still licking them lips. Foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black big lip bitch.
Thing that they did now. So they really won the war, but then they fled after the war. So you made the French leave, and then after you made the French leave, you fled with them. So you fled with the white man from Haiti to America, and then when you got there, you joined in on America that was still having slavery, and you built everything. Lie, lie, lie. Keep on bucking your eyes.
Where they were colonized because they were taken from their homelands in France, in Haiti, and taken to France. And so when the revolution popped off, they came to the United States. And that, with the influx of refugees, is what the United States used to make their census. So Haitian people are the only Black Americans, the original Black Americans of the United States, who formed their census in 1790. The United States admits that when they...
In 1790, y'all, which is damn near, that's 30 years less. That's 70 years, family, from slavery ending in America. They didn't come to America and weren't running nothing. Nice try, homegirl. You ain't even got your numbers correct.
enacted the Bureau of 1865 entitled, they want you to think it's called the Freedmen's.
Pull up your receipts. Pull up the receipts. They just hate it when it's not them. Pull up your receipts. And quite frankly, it doesn't even make a difference. You were treated as a slave, whether you were being FBA, if you label yourself FBA, if you label yourself a Pan-African, if you label yourself an Israelite, if you label yourself a descendant of Africa, whatever. Didn't even make a difference because all of you were slaves to the white man.
Bureau.
That part. Now here comes the Freedmen's Bureau, because guess what? This is what this was really about, wasn't it? This was really about you trying to tie Haitians in to the Freedmen's Bureau. I told everybody this is always about the money. This is all about money, ain't it? So you can tell every lie is about somebody trying to insert themselves in our reparations conversation. If they try to insert themselves in our lineage conversation, that's because they're trying to insert themselves in our reparations conversation. You're not getting the money. Okay, it's just not gonna go down that way. So you better go tell Wyclef and Kodak Black that Haitians are not getting foundational Black American reparations cash. Ain't no coincidence. This is what Kamala was doing. Remember, Kamala was trying to insert Mexicanos into our Freedmen's Bureau. She said all of this to basically say what I'm saying now, and that's they want our reparations.
Enacted the Bureau of
Which you ain't gonna
1865
get.
entitled, they want you to think it's called the Freedmen's Bureau. It's called the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands. Refugees. Haitians are the only and the first Black Americans.
And you are culture, they actually have evolved. You're living the foundational Black American culture. And we as
Well, you can't reason with him. So I'm sucking on some peanuts. Let's get to something a little bit more reasonable, shall we? Foundational Black Americans. Y'all must be kidding. Well, fair use.
To a black multi-purpose shopping market. Why are we good to be needed by the government? We feel good to be needed by this and that, and we feel good to be needed by the Democratic Party. How many black people go out and vote because the Democratic Party needs them? You go out and vote because the Republican Party needs you. You pay your dues because your white fraternity, your white sorority needs you, but do they appreciate you? I'm over being needed. I want to be appreciated. And I want all African people to get over being needed. We want to be appreciated. We are appreciated in the land. We are not appreciated in white societies. We are not appreciated in Neanderthal neighborhoods. It's like a woman who's being used by a man. She just happy to be needed. She don't care whether or not she's appreciated. She just happy to be needed. That's self-esteem. African people have low self-esteem. I don't care if you need me. You have to appreciate me. And that's why we as African people have to divest from supporting white society.
We might have to divest on some of these black folks too. I mean, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Pastor Jamal Bryant had the Target boycott. Shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant. He spearheaded the Target boycott. And I support him because Target needed to be punished for the dismissal of African people. I'm not going to get into the conversation about DEI because we know DEI didn't really benefit us, so that wasn't necessarily 100% the exact target that we should have pursued. But nonetheless, I appreciated the fact that we sent a very clear and direct message reminding the white economic power structure of how much we are needed. And then Reverend Al Sharpton redirected our people to Costco. But my respective criticism of Pastor Jamal Bryant, I respect criticism of Reverend Al Sharpton is you caught at Target, which was necessary. And you redirected our people to Costco. But guess what? Costco don't appreciate black people any more than Target does. So why did we do that? Here we go back to being versus appreciated. Costco needs the black dollar. Costco needs the black dollar, but Costco does not appreciate the black dollar. Why didn't we start our own black multi-purpose supermarket, Pastor Jamal Bryant and Reverend Al Sharpton? Respectfully, elders, why didn't we redirect the black dollar into a black multi-purpose shopping market? Why are we choosing between Caucasians? Why are we choosing between Target and Walmart?
Because Dr. Umar, we ain't the only one here. I guess. I assume. Is that the right word? Assume. You just want a whole bunch of black folk to just have a black town. It's unrealistic at this moment in time, sir. But just maybe if we built it, they will come it. There ain't no such thing as a black town, but we got a hockey town, a court town, a Mexican town, but we don't have a black town. We have a Chinatown. We have an Asian town, but we don't have a Korean town, but we don't have a black town. Why? Because we don't know how to transport that dollar. If it was me, I transported. Take Lisa give me $1. She expected back in 2 hours. If Lisa gave me $5, Lisa gonna call me back within an hour asking me if you can give me my $5 back. Why the Dr. Umar want a black town so much? Stupid.
We are a $2 trillion economy. We are a $2 trillion. Why are we choosing between options that need us but don't appreciate us? Why choose between options that need us but don't appreciate us? Where's the black supermarket? That's what I want to know. Reverend Paul Bryant, Pastor Jim Bryant, where's the all black supermarket? That's what I'm talking about. We have to build, we just can't protest. We have to build, we just can't boycott.
How can you build something when you got puppeteers, and that's what I call FBA, puppeteers, wanting to just it be a one-sided figure, want to be a one-sided cult, foundational Black Americans. I wouldn't have minded as much if it were like, if you would say like Bloods and Crips or whatever. Bloods and Crips were designed to protect Black America at one point. Now it's just like you need treaties all over the place. Hell, I'm going to California. I'm afraid to wear blue. I just bought some blue shoes, blue and white shoes. I can't wear those. You can't wear those in the place that we're going to. No, that just wouldn't look realistic. That wouldn't, fam. Yeah, I can't wear red either. But there's I guess they have a purpose for that. And if the gangs sidebar, I just wish that sidebar meaning like Zoe Williams would say, let's go deeper. Deeper meaning deeper in thought. Mine would be sidebar. Let me go deep in my thought. If Bloods and Crips really were that gangster, this is just my thought, why can't they just overthrow the government as one? That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? And then they can safely say, of course, they'll have to deal with the National Guard, and they'll have to deal with the military and so on and so forth. But as Black Americans, which there's no hyphen in there. So as melanated people, will we support that idea? Just overthrowing the government like white folks did when they went in there? When the government threatened their Second Amendment, you know what white folks did? They marched right on in there with their guns. I want to see that in my lifetime, where we just march on there and just overthrow the government. It would be so satisfying. Not satisfying. It'd be one of those. It would be a win. It wouldn't be a victory. There's a difference. A win and a victory are totally different options. Number one, not options, but number one, a victory, a win is a win. Steph Curry hitting that shot, the final buzzer, that's a win. The victory is capturing the title. With us just overthrowing the government, that's a win. With us overthrowing the entire population of whites, Hispanics, everybody else, that would be a victory. But we're too damn divided.
We ain't no ping pong ball going back and forth between Caucasian business. That's over with. That's over with. Are not an economic ball to be played with between white corporations. Value or appreciate the black dollar. Where is the black supermarket?
Where is it?
Oh, soup store. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna. My condolences to you, my sister Rihanna, on the passing of father. I met your father in Barbados at my debut event. He was a Dr. Umar supporter. We had a brief but powerful conversation. My condolences to my sister Rihanna and the entire family.
I can just hear Lennon right now. He's a figment of his imagination. He didn't talk to Rihanna's father. Anyway, they're puppets. I would tell that to Dr. Umar. You're not going to see that in this lifetime. It's kind of funny, right? Me and Brandon, we share the same vision. What if Black folk were to create our own Dubai? Have you seen Dubai? Like, Dubai is beautiful. It's both. It's beautiful. Both. Clean water, clean air. Just foundations all across that sand area. I mean, just infrastructure everywhere. And with that comes with nice cars, nice clothes, watches. I mean, it just comes with just building foundations and money pouring everywhere. And they are worth billions. Billions. There's another place that's worth more to them, but I'm just focusing on Dubai as a whole. We can create our own Dubai. I remember stating that before. I mean, we won't see it in our lifetime, but if we start it now, the next 2 or 3 generations would see it before us.
Family and the whole Barbados. I can't wait to get back to Barbados really soon. Tiger Woods, I need you to take a break. Brothers and sisters. And that's a good thing, because it means we have to solve our problems. I need you to understand, nobody in America wants to be identified with African people. And that's a good thing, because it means we have to solve our problems ourselves. I said nobody in America wants to be associated with African people. Good. That means we must solve our problems ourselves. No problems there. Stop looking for a non-black shoulder to cry on. See, one thing we have not dealt with, one thing we have not dealt with adequately in this quagmire, one thing we have not dealt with adequately in this quagmire of ours that we find ourselves in, not just in America, but around the Ifatunde universe. One of the things we haven't dealt with is the fact that most African people, enslaved or colonized, most African people, whether you are a neo-Negro or not, if you are descendant of the colonized dependency on Caucasians. Can we be honest today, brothers and sisters? Can we be honest today, brothers and sisters? Do we or do we not, as African people, I don't care where you live, whether you're on the continent, whether you're in the islands, whether you're in Australia, the South Pacific, Texas Africans, Pennsylvania Africans, Minnesota Africans, Georgia Africans, Florida Africans, Detroit Africans, Chicago Africans, Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas Africans, Tennessee Africans, St. Louis, Kansas City Africans. Do we or do we not have an emotional dependency on Caucasian approval? Can we be honest? I don't care how many times you've been to Africa. I don't care how many dashikis you own, and nobody owns more dashikis than me. I don't care if you got an African name. I don't care if you host the Kwanzaa program. I don't care if you graduated from an HBCU. Do we or do we not have emotional dependency upon our former enslavers and colonizers? From the Congo to California, from Australia to Angola, from London to Louisiana. Do we or do we not have an emotional dependency on Caucasians? Black women, why do you wear weaves and perms? And if you argue that you wear weaves and perms purely for self-management of your hair, if you're going to argue that I wear weaves and perms purely for the sake of convenience, not beauty, purely for the sake of convenience, why do you dye your hair blonde? Why is blonde hair the #1 color for black women in America? Help me understand that. What does blonde hair have to do with your hair being conveniently managed? Help me understand. Blonde and brunette hair, what does that have to do with you being able to care for your hair? Your hair is blonde because you want to look like and be accepted by your oppressor. Stop the nonsense. Weeks ago, that China was selling for Louis Vuitton and Gucci. China was selling knockoff merchandise to Louis Vuitton and Gucci that they sell to black people in the city centers of America, and y'all still buying Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Why? Because you want to be like and be accepted by
That's just the norm of things. Still to this day, you don't want to support each other. Still to this day, you do not want to support one another. Give me a second, fam. I'm always having interruptions.
me for what I stand for. So they allow that to persist. First of all, the Bailey family, right, is a very large family. So Isaac and Betsy Bailey, which is the grandparents who raised Frederick and my grandfather Steve, right?
That four when you were talking about.
Yes. Well, Stephen is 4. Isaac and Betsy will be my 6 times great grandparents. So the grandparents who raised Frederick Douglass and my grandfather Steve will be my 6 times great grandparents, right? They had about 12 children. And each of those children had a lot of children because the slave masters needed us to reproduce so we could work the fields, right? We was enslaved in Eastern Shore, Maryland, right? Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and Henry Highland Garnett, the grandfather of Pan-Africanism, they all come from one county away from each other, right? So if you think of all these children, and each of them have children, and each of them, you follow? We are probably tens of thousands all over the world. There's Baileys, you feel me? It's a very large family. The person who put out the lie that I was not, first of all, what he said was true, and what I said was true. What do I mean? He said Dr. Umar is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. That is true. I'm not a descendant. I'm a descendant of Stephen and Caroline Bailey. Frederick is my cousin, not my grandfather. Right?
Right.
I never said he was my grandfather. He knows I never said he was my grandfather, but to throw the people off, he doesn't say Dr. Umar is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass, but he is a member of the Bailey family. He never said that part. He never said he's a descendant of Stephen Bailey, Frederick's brother. He never said that. So to play mind games with the people, he just said, Dr. Umar is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. Right? You see? Which is true.
Right.
So why not clarify and say he is a member of the Bailey family? He is a descendant of Stephen and Caroline. He is a cousin to Frederick Douglass. His name is on a family tree. He didn't put it there. You see what I'm saying? So he played with the people.
You mean the Tribe and Jasmine Crockett thing? That's sort of like AI talking, but I've seen it before. I've definitely seen it before. She supports him. Basically Tribe, Abraham Tribe, good soldier, good young, strong soldier, 37 years old, already to a good start. A great start, actually. I don't care what nobody says. While we're fighting over here in LA right now, while we're fussing and fighting and bickering over here in America, great things are happening in Belia Faso. Belia Faso? I'm just going to say Faso. Great things are happening in Faso right now. And the more important thing that I want to say for me personally, is that when Julius, the public figure in Africa, 44 years of age. Yes, he's not only are they helping to kick the France out, but he's saying he's getting the homeland, the farmlands back by any means necessary. And that's what I like. And these white folks had the nerve to say, I've been working day and night for half of my life here, and I don't see myself giving it up anytime soon. I was like, oh, you won't have to. That's your profession. You just got to do someplace else, because how is it that you're going to come to my backyard, put your feet up on the coffee table. Come into my house with your shoes on. Come and eat up on my food. Put your dirty feet up on my coffee table and not even acknowledge me, which means you have stolen from me. And that's what colonizers, these white folks, these Europeans, that's what they done. And all of a sudden they feel up on, oh my God. And then Jasmine Crockett, of course, she loves this stuff. And then, of course, you know how white people are. It's sort of like the same thing with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, he did a press conference, right? He did a press conference while he was playing for San Francisco 49ers, and he wore a Malcolm X hat with a Fidel Castro t-shirt, and the media was all on him. How are you gonna suffer? How are you gonna wear a shirt of a murderer? Murder of y'all, not ours. This is the same Fidel Castro. Now, don't get it twisted. I mean, he's still European, but he basically dominated Cuba. He dominated Cuba. Then put it. Yeah, I got it. I'm talking about it right now. Talking about it right now as we speak. So he dominates Cuba, giving them free education, just like it, free healthcare, just like it, and dominating with an iron fist. Hell, he even helped or had conversations, vis-a-vis conversations with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X at that time. Oh my. Fidel Castro having conversations with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King about what? Quite interesting. He was so feared in the United States of America. He was so feared. You know how many death threats? You know how many times he's been threatened? You know how many times they tried to kill him? Same thing with this guy. Same thing with Abraham Taribe. And the moment Jasmine Crockett starts smiling and says and paraphrasing how much of a general that he is, and he's a one hell of a general, white folks have an issue with it. Ooh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Talk about dictatorships. We got one dictator right now in the United States of America who's the president of the United States of America, and his name is Donald Trump. Yet somebody gave this realtor, this capitalist, this bad, awful businessman the keys to the kingdom. And now he is abusing his power by saying what? Putting Marine troops on American soil. What does that say about him? He's a great leader. Since when? Since when? This is basically the January 6th all over again, but worse. They ain't running over the military. The military will kill if necessary. They will kill you if necessary. It's quite sad, to be perfectly honest with you, because I again, we don't have that dog in it. Our dogs are good. We don't have that dog in that fight. Hey Lisa, have you seen Taribe before? Have you seen Mr. Taribe before? Let me show you what this person looks like. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, you did send me the shit. So my bad. You did send me the shit. But I haven't heard too much other than she was on X
um, saying how this is a tragedy and everything, the whole riot situation, how this is a tragedy and everything, and how Trump is basically abusing his authority. He already got sued by Gabbard. He already got sued by the mayor. But then again, I could care less about the mayor. Listen, California's red, Texas is red. What else is a red state? Florida's red. You're not going to get them to sway any other way. You're really not. Donald Trump ain't nothing but a puppet. He's getting his direct orders from the elitists. Let's just keep it real. He's getting his orders from the elites who put him there. And he's about to be broke. Messing with it. He has how many times has he gotten sued? He's gotten sued a lot. And he's lost a lot of money. And he has 30 or 34 counts of whatever. I mean, it's just crazy. And they let him in. The Mexicans, all they did was just put more log on the fire. That's all they did. That's all they did. That's why I always argued the point where we need to be more independent, so we can have the actual freedom and the access to pick who we want to be in office, right? Because if he does something stupid like this, we have the ability to hold him accountable. Because guess what? Not only did we vote for this single individual, whether it be man, woman, dog, whoever, we have the ability, we have the power, and we have the finances to hold this person, whoever it is, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whoever, accountable for what they do. But since we don't have the experience, we got the left and we got the right, and both of them are bickering. It's the same song and dance, people. It's the same song and dance. Democrats gonna get back in there, and they're gonna make a big mess, and then Republicans are gonna argue that they're the chosen one, and then you got a Republican in there, and then the Democrats do it, and then it goes back to the Republicans. It's the same old song and dance, and we should get used to it by now. I ain't trusting the devil. Don't ask me. We-On-Loc. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me to vote for no one unless it's Cory Booker. Unless it's Cory Booker. Oh, breaking news, people, breaking news. Damn, they fighting. They fighting like cats and dogs. So you mean to tell me, oh damn, they're grabbing. Why are you grabbing people's guns? Why are you grabbing why are you grabbing the police's guns? Ah, goodness gracious. Well, I guess we can play a little bit of this. I guess we can grab a little bit of it. Oh yeah. By the way, Maxine Waters, I saw her out there. What the hell? They ain't got nothing to do with this shit. I saw Maxine Waters out there. Poor old Maxine. Poor Maxine. And she's doing what she can, which, quite frankly, she can't do anything. She can't do anything. She can't provoke the president of the United States to do nothing at Absolutely nothing. And they're taking these people and they're putting them on planes and they're deporting them back to wherever they came from. Now, they know they can. They can fuck with them. They ain't gonna be fucking with us like that. That's sad. That is very, very sad. But next time you won't be so descriptive. Next time you will listen to your.
Speedy Gonzalez. He done been apprehended by ICE and he's on his way back to Nicaragua. Sad day to be them, good day to be us. On a cake that we don't have. They're trying to get foundational Black American
community. When there's a Hispanic issue going on and you want to attack the civilized Hispanic, you want to call them a race traitor, you want to be white, you're fucking this, you're fucking that. Because why? Because we don't allow, because we got the same skin.
Deportations have never stopped. And they are getting sent back home. They're getting sent back home in the same exact bus that Speedy Gonzalez is getting sent back home in. Eyes be damned. Ain't it crazy? You see the bus? Yep. And there you see the illegals getting packed the hell on up. Damn, they talking about black folks is guilty, but they the ones with the handcuffs on. Black folks is guilty, but they the ones who getting locked up and apprehended. You getting apprehended talking about somebody else. Bad day for you. Damn. That might be Speedy right there. I told y'all they done got Speedy Gonzalez. There you go. Up the stairs, next stop is your homeland because you are going home. Fam, there ain't no black and brown coalition. And now you're starting to see these ICE protests go on all across the country. Donald Trump was telling everybody, you go ahead and do it and things are going to get worse. You seen just the other day when we were talking, you seen it pop off in LA. Then it went on to Atlanta, then Chicago. You're also seeing them down in Texas, New York City. And everywhere they go, they're only ramping up what's going to end up happening. It's spreading all across the United States. And you know what's really happening right now, fam, is that the Democrats are trying to do their replay and their version of the 2020 George Floyd protest. That's what they're really trying to do. They're trying to do the George Floyd protest over again so they can try to get FBA involved, and FBA is not getting involved at all. They are on their own. They got to hold their own NUTs up. And the fact that they got to hold their own NUTs, fam, it's getting more clear out here that they're getting more.
Nick, bro. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Breaking news.
Anything bad is even happening. Take a listen to Maxine Waters here.
Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence.
And Hillary Clinton decided her 2 cents, writing, California Governor Newsom didn't request the National Guard be deployed to his state following peaceful demonstrations. Trump sent them anyway. It's the first time in 60 years a president has made that choice. Trump's goal isn't to keep Californians safe. His goal is to cause chaos because chaos is good for Trump. Hillary has since turned off the comments on that post, if that's an indication of how it was received.
Yeah, they weren't very receptive to that point, the people on the Twitters.
Being pelted by concrete, rocks, projectiles, fireworks. They want to say, all right, that's not actually, that's an acceptable level of violence, to your point, Todd. All of those businesses being ransacked and looted, ICE officers and their families being doxxed. That's apparently okay. That's the new normal. So it appears Karen Bass, Hillary Clinton, almost every Democrat not named John Fetterman, they want looting and rioting and lighting scores of cars on fire to be that acceptable new normal. And we're even hearing this analogy, you'll love this, Todd, particularly, from Democratic lawmakers on CNN and MSNBC, that this really is no different than a team winning a championship and celebrating in the streets. I mean, one ABC reporter said, quote, "It's just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn." So the media obviously is enabling this here. The difference here, and I'll leave this here, is that social media under Elon Musk, X particularly, is the great equalizer. Corporate media, legacy media can claim one thing and say, this really isn't bad, it's peaceful, don't believe your lying eyes. But then X, which infinitely more people go to for their news now, they have the videos, they have the proof, they have the mockery of these media people, of these Democrats. And that's why this isn't going to work the way it did in 2020, because X particularly is the great equalizer.
Yeah, I don't think that football fans are breaking up cinder blocks and throwing them at federal agents and spray painting bleep ice on the side of buildings. So we heard from Maxine Waters, we heard from Hillary Clinton. Here are other Democrats and media pundits reacting to this as well. Watch.
All right. Things are peaceful here in Los Angeles. I hope and pray that they stay that way.
Saturday night in Paramount, they had this situation under control. Overnight, LAPD got that under control.
He has no idea what to do with the sustained and growing and intractable and indomitable protest and opposition of the American people against him. Game over, big guy, you lose.
And to add to that, Joe, here's a Washington Post headline quoting someone. He's waging a war on us. The headline continues to read, as Trump escalates, Angelenos defend their city. So do you think, Joe, that this would have an impact? This moment right now will have an impact in the midterm elections? I mean, maybe the only thing helping Democrats right now is that there was a lot of time between then and now.
Yeah, I think the only party it helps and president it helps is President Trump, because all I've seen is his poll numbers continue to steadily climb up, where you have many polls showing him above 50% in approval right now. It's not going in the opposite direction. But I'll share with you one very telling poll here. It comes from Insider Advantage. They were the most accurate poll of the 2024 election, or at least in the top three. They're ranked A by 538. And it says, do you approve Trump's National Guard deployment? There's a poll that just was out late yesterday. 60% approve, 40% disapprove. That's a 20-point difference. So, yeah, people support this because, again, what is the underlining theme here? ICE is trying to arrest murderers, rapists, and child molesters. And if you're against that as a party and as a media, you're definitely on the wrong side of an issue. And this will be a campaign ad, to your point, Carly, in 2026.
Before we let you go, I need a quick answer on this. Breaking news this morning, Elon Musk's apology. The founder of Doge sent out this early morning post saying, quote, I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far.
It didn't take that long. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, it didn't take that long, did it? I told you, it didn't take that long at all. Of course, they're gonna have an agree. They're gonna have to agree to disagree. But hot damn, it only took 2 days, and he said, "Oh, I confident I went too far." I was like, I don't want to hear all that shit. They're gonna kiss and make up. They're in alignment with each other. We're not. It didn't take that long, man. It did not take that long. Jasmine was up against JD. He went live supporting her. Good. Jane Carl won $4 million for rape. Won $4 million in rape? What? This is the reason why I need you up here, because you're the political one here. I'm not. She got 83 million. 83 million in what? 83 million in what? 83 million in what? Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's like I knew it didn't even take that long. Jean Carroll had assaulted, and you talking about Jean Carroll won $50 million. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see what happened in that, because this is when I saw Maxine Waters. I thought wasn't Maxine Waters the other day, and I'm like, what are you doing out there, old lady? And apparently that was Maxine Waters. I'm like, that's Maxine Waters. What are you doing out there by herself?
This Trump and his outrageous attempt to not only target our sanctuary city, but to frighten us and intimidate us. This is wrong, and I hope that none of you will use those guns to shoot anybody. There's no reason to shoot anybody. Don't allow them to make your service in a service where you're killing people. Don't do it. Defy them. Don't shoot those guns for anything.
Thank you.
It's sad. It's very sad. Rumen and shaming Moss want one first. Okay. It's sad. It is very sad that you have a woman like that. Respectfully, you have a woman like that in Congress is just putting in the work that she does, but it's not going to mean anything because, again, you have a dictator in office. I wouldn't even. I mean, it's the same. It's the same word as saying madman, because this is a madman. He's 88. He's like 80, 81 years old. He ain't got nowhere to go but up. He's helped people lose millions and millions of dollars, but it's not going to matter because they're in alignment with one another. It didn't take that long for Donald Trump and Elon Musk or Elon Musk to apologize to him. It doesn't even take that long. And we're so busy arguing and bickering over each other over a religion, over not a religion, but an identity. We're arguing back and forth because of an identity problem, an identity crisis. And we're talking about we deserve reparations. We don't deserve anything. We don't even know who we are. We don't see ourselves as one nation. That's all I care about. This is the reason why I hate cults. That's why there's no need, and there's no political form. You're just reading off of what you know. And this other jackass over here, the FBA guy, he brung no facts at all, nothing. That wasn't even factual. You don't even play the entire clip. Get the full context of what Umar was stating. The full entire context, but that doesn't matter to you. The only thing that matters to you is a damn religion. That's the only thing that matters. You don't want power. You just want the respect. Okay, I'll give you that. You can get the respect. Why not take all of it? Money, power, influence, respect. White people ain't gonna give you respect. You gotta take it. 48 million against Rudy Giuliani in 2023, but they haven't gotten their money. Are we surprised? I wouldn't be surprised if any of those fun bags, have a drink the very next day. Red wine. You know what that red wine symbolizes? Symbolizes power, respect. They're going to be on the golf course the very next day. Come on now. And especially it's summertime and it's June, they're going to bicker with one another. But the plan is to keep people like us in line. Did I ever forget to mention that they already have these elitists that put Donald Trump in there in the White House in the first place, that they already have a home, but it don't include you? While we're here meleeing, getting in trouble with the police and rioting and looting and plundering and causing all this havoc, or having it orchestrated to cause all this havoc. You know where these elitists are? In their own habitat. So if something goes wrong, they don't have to deal with all that famine. That's what we're not seeing. I see the writing on the wall, and this is the reason why I don't vote. This is the reason why I don't fall for the okie doke. You're not going to get me to fall for anything. We-On-Loc stands alone. You're not going to get me, because this has all been orchestrated in the first place, because they see the writing on the wall, because they see they don't have that much time left here on this earth. Us melanation is never going to go away. Why do you think they experiment on it? Well, don't get me started on experiments. But we're sitting there talking FBA, ADOS. Eat my shorts with all that crap. You're not getting the full concept of it. But I'm going to move on, because like I said, all that's what's going on in LA right now ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with me, fam. Shouldn't have anything to do with you. You're in Dallas. I'm in Nevada. You're in Georgia. It makes nothing to me. Even though they are marching in some other places, I'm staying home. Y'all just don't get it. It has never been about us in the first place. That's the one thing you don't get. Of course, they're going to have a couple of token blacks here, and they're going to put a token blacks there, and say we are going to do. They're going to do very, very little. They're going to do a whole hell of a lot to keep the whites secure, and most of your Latinos or whoever else honest. But it's not honest enough. It's not truthful enough. Why do you think you can't even make a minimum of $40 an hour? Minimum. $40 an hour, that's a lot. Is it? I looked at it and it was like, let me see. I started at the lowest. I started at $25 an hour, right? $25 an hour, that's $1,600 and something. After taxes, it's back to $1,000, possibly $400, if you're lucky. Then I went up. Let's do $30 an hour, $2,400, basically $2,400. In an economy like this, $30 is not enough, and that's sad. When eggs cost like damn near $7. Like, JD Vance, the vice president. JD Vance, the vice president. Settling for Trump. Interesting. So anyway, I looked at it and I said, okay, so by the time you pay, well, $30 an hour is suitable because you can pay your rent. Oh, I almost forgot. High rent. High rent. Rent goes for, in the United States right now, whether you're renting a house or an apartment, is over $2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, she was out there. Yes, Maxine Waters was out there. $2,000 for rent. For rent. And if you ain't making $30 an hour, sorry, fam. You're gonna be rushing to make in. This is the reason why I say these little jabs at females. It's like you're losing your one source. Now, not everybody makes six figures. Not everybody has the ability to own and control their own stores. They're not. And yes, you do have to be educated. But let me stop ranting there. What's the next thing I can go to? Oh, I didn't know they were bickering back and forth. Let's see what's going on between. Let me see this person. What's the debate about? Oh, the debate about not being black. What's that about?
It's not going to be black music. And what you got a guy right there behind the switchboard. Can he be denied having anything to do with black music? Should he be denied anywhere dealing with black culture? I mean, you talk about
well, Africa is the origin of civilization, so I don't think it's difficult to find out.
You got black folks here who believe never came from out of Africa. You got black folks here who would not be able to define what black is what.
Well, they can just take a DNA test and see if we came out of Africa.
Fine, then tell me who could take a DNA test who wouldn't be African if we all came out of Africa.
What?
I don't think Babyface wrote this.
So he said, let's chill. Hey. We are highlighting that Face was out during that time.
Yeah, still.
Right.
Tell everybody what we're talking. And that's a conversation that no matter what conversation we end up having on this show, oftentimes it distills to one of these 2 points. Do we integrate or do we segregate? Mm-hmm. And I'd love to ask you this question. This is completely unscripted. We didn't know this was going to happen, but I think you're the perfect person to ask. Do you think that integration was more helpful or more harmful to the Black initiative and the Black agenda?
Great question. Do I think integration was more harmful or helpful to the Black agenda? Integration was done to dissipate Black economic power. When they saw Rosewood in Charleston and all these independent Black communities, they said we have to break this up. This is a threat to our economic control. So that's why they desegregated. Here's the problem. They never integrated. They only desegregated. They removed barriers to access. Nobody made you move to the white neighborhood. They said you could. Nobody said you got to send your child to the white school. They said you could. Nobody said you had to stop going to the Black hospital. They just gave you the right to go to the white one. Nobody forced us. Black people voluntarily abandoned our own institutions because we wanted to be accepted by white people. There's a conversation that we don't like to have about as African people, not us here, but as a community. Too many Black people are only interested in white
violence. We gotta take a pause for the cause. You all right, sis? You all right? So shout out to Mahogany Roots. Hey, sister girl, you okay? All right. I had to replay the live yesterday. I had to replay the live from yesterday. I'm like, honey, are you okay? Are you okay, honey? Just checking up on my sister girl. All right. Sometimes you gotta let it out. Shit. It's cool with me. I went and I went to check out that Bozo's live. I think his name is you said it yesterday. The one with the purple bird acting like a duck. I didn't know that he was bald and ugly. he looked like an old enemy of mine. But anyway, when it checked it, I was like, oh, let me check this shit out. He definitely hates himself. And I'm talking about truism. Truism truly does hate himself. And I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised. That's the type of person that I would throw to LA and it's like, LA, you can go handle him. He ain't doing nothing over here. Just leave him over there so we can handle some business over here. But anyway, back to business.
Validation and white approximation. And the third one, white imitation. We want to be validated by Caucasians. We want to be close to them, approximation, and we want to imitate them in everything that we do. Until you deal with the need for Negroes to approximate whites, be validated by whites, and imitate whites, this is going to be an issue. Nobody made us give up our own. We voluntarily did it.
I went to that boy's page, and that boy loves him some snow bunnies. He does. He get real desperate. Oh my God! Those fake breasts. Oh my God, that flat ass. Oh my God! Like, can I just touch your boob just one time? Oh my God! Coward.
500. You can hardly count 5 now. You know why? Because the minute white people say you can come and have your baby at this white hospital that didn't let you in there for hundreds of years, we ran. Because although we built Black Wall Street, it was out of necessity. If white to freely participate in this society at the end of slavery, get a Black Wall Street. If they never kept us out, I don't think you ever get a Black Wall Street.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Oh my goodness, that's a very. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that perspective and that angle, brother.
Yes,
Chris,
sir.
you are on the
Hey, brother Chris.
I wouldn't want to see his white ass. I wouldn't want to see him. And I say that because once you convert yourself completely over to that side, that's just who you are. So let him be where he wants to be. But leave Mahogany Roots alone. Just leave Mahogany Roots alone. I have to admit, I was looking hard too. I was looking hard for some videos that you might have been in. I might have not, I was working this thing. I wanted the excuse then. To go in on his not George Jefferson, who Roger. He looked more like Roger, the uglier version. Roger from What's Happening? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I love white meat. I just love white meat. Black meat is just ill. Like, it's just totally ill. And I have such a bald head. I just want white hands to touch this bald head. And oh my God. He's just so excited, pause, and he's, oh my God, I just wish I just want it all over your titties, all over your, oh my God, oh, I can't help myself, because you're so white and you're so pure. Get the fuck out of here. Burn.
All right.
All right, let's go.
We got Joe Citizen.
Donna, great. And for the record, caller Clip was actually talking the opposite of what he normally does. He was being a bit sarcastic when he brought his point up about he making a point about people who believe like that.
Okay,
Brother Umar, I was trying to ride your Afrocentrist train until I found it was just a roller coaster running off the rails. I saw the despotic Sonny Ali, the hope of Asker Muhammad, till it all fell apart on the album.
No, you know what that is? You know what that is? Real talk, low key. Is these Negroes, they more than not got said no to by a black girl when they were in high school, junior high, and even college. So they took it as this white bitch, and the moment they got head from a cave bitch, the moment they got some double head from a cave bitch, they go, oh, you know the charm, oh my God, this is heaven. I never got this from a black woman before. Fuck you, black girl. Teach me how to dance. I'm going over there. Lisa, that's just what it is. These Negroes who, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but let's just say that it's just too many of them. Just too many of them. But why trash us? You're the gatekeepers. Duh. You're the gatekeepers of society. You make society. If I can't have you, and of course, there's this lack of understanding of there are like 7 million black women, 7 million black women versus 5 million black men. You couldn't play the field long enough, and you didn't want to play the field long enough because your confidence had been shot. Because somebody may have said something to you that they didn't like, or they criticized you, or you were a nerd and you were this or you were that, but you didn't want to play the field long enough. And so they ended up trashing you because you didn't give them what they want. Same thing with these red pill niggas. Same thing. And I heard it through the grapevine that these passport bros caught the package or whatnot. That's them. I mean, they end up going over there and they finding out that the other side is way worse than over here. Then it's like you chose that path. I would prefer to stay here. If I can't find nobody here, and let's just say in Pennsylvania, if I lived in Pennsylvania all my life and I can't, and if I have the time, if I can't find a suitable woman for me, then I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move somewhere where it's comfortable. I'm gonna move to Carolina, and if I find somebody in Carolina, then guess what? I made the effort. Most of these Negroes get one or two females, black or whatever, with big, giant, thick asses. All right? But they got an attitude problem. They got an attitude. They're not submissive enough. They're just as masculine. First of all, you don't even know what you want. You want a above modern woman than anything. First of all, you want a skinny woman. You want a skinny, but you don't want her too skinny. You don't want her too, you want her to go to the gym, but you don't want her masculine. You want her fat and you want her to lose weight. But it's like they lose weight and they look like a crackhead when they get skinny. Like, you don't know what you want. You don't know what half these dudes don't know what you want. You want a Lizzo, but Lizzo has lost a lot of weight. I mean, Baby Girl can lose more, but needless to say, she looks better. She looks more, she has more energy. I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't even go to the phase of, oh, in order for you to be with me, you gotta lose the weight. That don't even sound right. That sound African, but donate to the coffee fund, which is the Cash App, which you see above below the screen right here. Desi 88. I do need some coffee, but let me continue.
Sir, but some of the stuff you make, it doesn't make any sense. Define for me where anybody on earth can claim they're African, by the way. Be black music, or what they do with black?
Well, Africa is the origin of civilization, so I don't think it's difficult to find out what black people invented and what they did not. I think the question is more of what did we not invent. Most genres of music, most genres of music can be traced to the African continent, my brother.
Brother Umar, you're not hearing what I asked you. First of all, just define me who's not black.
I'm not interested in who's not black. I'm
of
only
course
interested
you're
in
not,
African
because you set up a situation where you're going to have endless enemies. And listen, I'm black origin like any Wakanda person. But you start
Wakanda doesn't exist. There's no country called Wakanda, my brother.
I use the term Wakanda because I look at it as a kind of reach before I grasp that. Like white people use Camelot. I use the idea of Wakanda because even though it's a cartoon, a comic to many people, to me it represents the highest quality of a black culture that was unconquered, uncolonized, that other people want to imitate with an I and emulate with an E. I use it as a standard to go for, as I believe it must once existed in the past. Now, you got this idea of Afrocentrism, which I kind of go with. You got black folks here who believe never came from out of Africa. You got black folks here who will not be able to define what black is what.
Well, they can just take a DNA test and see if we came out of Africa.
Fine, then tell me who could take a DNA test who wouldn't be African. It's about the idea of having a strong black consciousness. Mm-hmm. But the way, if Tulsa's been the example that white folks are dynamic and they're evil, let's assume there's a separate group called white folks. We must not create endless enemies. The idea of reparations should be this, where the most hated white guy wakes up one day and realizes he's disrespected his African ancestors. That's not likely to happen. Other than that, we might as well go for that bag. If everything that guy will sit there and let you do this, like it's all going to be great, take 6 states, I'll take your million.
No, I agree with you there. I completely believe that what we are entitled to and what we are asking for and what we expect, you tend to only get after war.
No, you don't have to get it after war. That's not true.
That's very true.
We're here because
that's very true. Why do people fight wars? People fight wars for land and resources. Both world wars were fought for land and resources.
Brother Umar, explain to me, Dahomey. Explain to me how those folks in Dahomey took black people as slaves and shipped them over to them.
You're over here, and then all of a sudden you're over here. You keep moving it, bro. Like what? What are you really trying to ask? Like, stop taking detours and just go straight with it. What are you asking? What are you asking?
Americans. Explain to me the Mali and Song Empire, where mostly it was slaves by other black folks.
What does that have to do with your previous
point? I'd be
points?
darned if I said that. Anthony Johnson in the United States, that brother was just kicking us in the butt because he wanted to be like the best white slaver. What are you talking about, brother?
You jumping all over the place, my brother. Black power. You jumping all over the place.
This is our last break for the segment.
That's what I'm saying. You over here is like, well, I understand. I understand that you can't. We can't have all black. You're basically saying we can't have all black people be friends. I didn't say that. He didn't say that. Wanted those individuals to become a group so we can come together to fight these fucking wars, and then you went straight to the Woman King. Like, what? What about the homie? The homie was a tribe. There are many tribes in Africa. I can't name them all, but that's beside the point. As a matter of fact, let me go back to that again, because I really find this interesting. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel.
Black,
Of course you're not, because you're set up. By the way, you keep saying black. I was trying to ride your Afrocentrist train until I found it was just a roller coaster running off the rails. And I'm reminded of the Songhai Empire, you know, from Mansa Musa, the despotic Sonny Ali, the hope of Asker Muhammad, till it all fell apart on Al Mansur. But some of the stuff you make, it doesn't make any sense. Define for me where anybody on earth can claim they're African, by the way. You keep saying black. We have a problem right now. I'm trying to figure out what part shall I decide is not going to be black music, or what. You got a guy right there behind the switchboards. Can he be denied having anything to do with black music? Should he be denied anywhere dealing with black culture? I mean, you talk about
well, Africa is the origin of civilization, so I don't think it's difficult to find out what black people invented and what they did not. I think the question is more of what did we not invent? Most genres of music, most genres can be traced to the continent, my brother.
Brother Umar, you're not hearing what I asked you. First of all, just define me who's not black.
I'm not interested in who's not black. I'm African.
Where you gonna have endless enemies, and listen, I'm black origin like any Wakanda person, but you start.
Wakanda doesn't exist. There's no country called Wakanda, my brother.
I use the term Wakanda because I look at it as a kind of reach before I grasp that. Like white people use Camelot. I use the idea of Wakanda because, you know, a cartoon or comic to many people, to me, represents the highest quality of a black culture that was unconquered, uncolonized, that other people want to imitate with an I and emulate with an E. I use it as a standard to go for, as I believe it must once existed in the past.
When you hear a person rambling this much, that means they're defeated. That means they are that much defeated. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I'll let you ramble out, answer your question as much as I possibly can. I'll let you ramble, and I'm done with you. You go here and you hear, and it's like I can't keep up with you, bruh. I can't. I'm trying to answer your first question, and you go on to another specific point, which it doesn't even make any sense. I mean, listen.
Now, you got this idea of Afrocentrism, which I kind of go with. You got black folks here who believe never came from out of Africa. You got black folks here who not be able to define what black is what.
Well, they can just take a DNA test and see if we came out of Africa.
Fine, then tell me who could take a DNA test who wouldn't be African if we all came out of Africa.
And to what end would we do that, Joe, if I may ask?
The point is this. I want to agree with him about the idea of having a strong black consciousness. Mm-hmm. But the way, if Tulsa's been the example that white folks are dynamic and they're evil, let's assume there's a separate group called white folks. We must not create endless enemies. The idea of reparations should be this, where the most hated white guy wakes up one day and realizes he's disrespected his African ancestors. That's not likely to happen. Other than that, we might as well go for that bag. If everything, Umar, you're saying is correct to a certain extent. But if you honestly think that if I was a racist white guy, I'm going to sit there and let you do this, like it's all going to be great, take 6 states, I'd take your million.
No, I agree with you there. I completely believe that what we are entitled to and what we are asking for and what we expect, you tend to only get after war.
No, you don't have to get it after war. That's not true.
That's very true.
The case. We're in here because
that's very true. Why do people fight wars? People fight wars for land and resources. Yes. Both world wars were fought for land and resources.
Brother Umar, explain to me, Dahomey. Explain to me how those folks in Dahomey took black people as slaves and shipped them over to the Americas. Explain to me the Mali and Song Empire, where mostly it was slaves by other black folks.
What does that have to do with your previous
point? I'd be darned if I sit there. Anthony Johnson in the United States, that brother was just kicking us in the butt because he wanted to be like the best whites in slavery. What are you talking about, brother?
Thank you. You jumping all over the place, my brother. Black power. He jumping all over the place.
This is our last break for the segment.
Man.
I know. It was a good one. But again, it's important that we be able to have dissenting point of view.
Yes, disagree without being disagreeable.
Right. And have that exchange.
Or disrespectful. We don't want to do that.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's go out. We're closing the phone lines.
Man, that's a wild boy there.
You wild off.
Yeah, like I said, That wasn't no better than homeboy from earlier. Foundational Black Americans. All of a sudden, we jump into that. It's like, well, the homie did this and the homie did that. That was a movie, but you got to read it in context for what the purpose of the movie was. Right. And even so, when people went to go see The Woman King, what were their first pretests when they first saw The Woman King? There were women in charge. Oh my God, us men, where are the men? The men were in the movie. The men were fighting alongside the women in the movie. We're like my daughter would say, we're cooked. We are cooked. We are cooked spiritually. We are cooked. Because we don't even respect our women. That's the first thing. We don't respect our women, and we dare not to respect our women. Why? Because we want to so bad take over something that we do not publicly cherish or publicly announce or even say the words "I love you." The words "I love you" never come out your mouth. The word love never comes out your mouth. Ain't that right, Mahogany? The words love never come out of Negroes' mouths. But you get that one individual that says the actual word and mean it within context. He's a simp, or he's a beta, or stuff like that. And we're trying to survive in America. When women get all these accolades, they get all these accolades, they get discounts. Men don't get discounts. What? Women get this and women get that. Oh God. Maybe I ought to stop watching the Peef so much. That's funny. In the words of El Shabazz, aka Malcolm X.
Disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in the most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And Muslims, Elijah Muhammad teaches us to protect our women. And the only time a Muslim really gets real violent we will kill our woman. We will kill you for our woman. We believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up for the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put.
But they're allowed to stay. They can't choose a suitable man when they go out to the supermarkets at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they get that, and they get a booty shot. Why does everything have to be so drastic? Why does everything have to be so off? A woman can wear plain clothes in the middle of the night getting gas. And that's why they have the pump. Then you can pay everything for that pump right there, except for food, whatnot. But hey, that's why they have lights. And if any dumbass wants to mess with you, of course, women, I guess you need that, what they call that goddamn it on. Get that goddamn it out your purse. I was just trying to get your number. Can't you wait until the morning? Why can't you choose a suitable man? It's like, I don't understand it. You don't have to do all that late at night. You need a man. I don't know. Y'all just go to dramatic means. I mean, we're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, in Africa, in Juda Faso, in Africa, things are getting built. Things are getting built slowly but surely. And there's evidence of that. So, big ashe, big ups to Big Brother, General, Captain Abraham Toribe. And I must study more about this young brother. And of course, I need to study, of course, Julian, because Julian be getting it in, boy. Julian be getting it in. I have to show you. I have to show you this clip, right? Because Julian says something so profound, so revolutionary. It's like, it's magic. To me, it's magic. It's like, we haven't had a leader like this since Khalid Muhammad. We never had a leader since Khalid Muhammad. Let me see. I guess I can play that. I guess I can play this little snippet.
Foreign minister came. He was at home here. This is home. You should have looked at all the comments everywhere in the social media. Our people were so happy to have a Russian foreign minister here. We are happy that they saw it.
Oh, that's my fault. That's my fault. But I got a better one than that. But hold on. You gotta listen to this. You just gotta listen to this. This is what made my heart jump. Because if I was there, homeboy wouldn't be speaking out of touch like this. But I had to find it for you. It's right here. It's like I gotta study my people. See, this is something that I need to do. Right, I need to study my folks more. Since we're so cowardly, and here it is. One second. We'll just make. Well, I'll make it quick, and we'll get out of here. We'll make it quick. Don't worry. We'll make this one quick. Just listen here.
He's from prison. And I was 14 when the election happened. I'm a medical doctor. I work sometimes 160-hour weeks. I work sometimes 18 hours a day. And I own property because of that reason. And it sounds to me that you're suggesting that I should do all that work and come to this point in my life and I'll just hand away my property. And that concerns me.
You know, you are an exceptional case. If you were to stand up and say, I went to school and I'm a medical doctor and the property I have is because I went to school and I bought it. But most of your people didn't buy any property, they inherited it. So it's an exceptional case. No, you can disagree, but the reality is that you are in possession.
Tell the truth! Tell the truth!
I had to play it again.
Released from prison, and I was 14 when the election happened. I'm a medical doctor. I work sometimes 160-hour weeks. I work sometimes 18 hours a day, and I own property because of that reason. And it sounds to me that you're suggesting that I should do all that work and come to this point in my life and now just hand away my property. And that.
You know, you are an exceptional case. If you are to stand up and say, I went to school and I'm a medical doctor and the property I have is because I went to school and I bought it. But most of your people didn't buy any property, they inherited it. So it's an exceptional case. No, you can disagree, but the reality is that you are in possession of a land that was stolen from us. And we want it back without any apology. We want that land back, and we are going to work together. I can tell you now, whether you are in denial or not, the demand for the land is growing and people are becoming impatient. And we don't want Zimbabwe here. We don't want Zimbabwe in this country. It has to be done legally, procedurally, in a manner that is not good.
Hold up.
I
gotta use this for a clip.
We have to say, how do we, in a
he said it so
proper manner,
and so profound.
you are an exceptional case.
Wait, I'm sorry, y'all.
When you talk about we and they, we're roughly the same age. I was 12 when Madiba was released from medical doctor. I work sometimes 160 hours. I own property because of that reason. And it sounds to me that you're suggesting that I should do all that work and come to this point in my life and now.
You know, you are an exceptional case. If you are to stand up and say, I went to school and I'm a medical doctor and the property I have is because I went to school and I bought it. But most of your people didn't buy any property, they inherited it. So it's an exceptional case. No, you can disagree, but the reality is that you are in possession of a land back without any apology. We want that land back, and we are going to work together. I can tell you now, whether you are in denial or not, that becoming impatient.
I just had to play that. I just had to play that part right there. I just had to play that part for a clip. I'm gonna put that as a short. I'm gonna put that as a chart.
One benefit from this land. So, you know, Mr. Santa will know, and those who were involved in the negotiations and pre-negotiations, that when it was inevitable for democracy to be ushered in, most of the corrupt the names of individuals. When we're building a road in Northwest, expanding a road in Northwest from Rustenburg to Mafi, the state had to now get into some farms so that, because they didn't have land reserve to go and take sections of land, please come forward so that we can compensate you.
That was me. I wouldn't be compensating with no motherfucker. If that were me, you would. Something went wrong with my phone. There's always something wrong with you. What is wrong with y'all phones? Anyway, where was I at?
All you white motherfuckers would bye. Now, I can compensate with this. Your lives would be spared. So all you gotta do is just pack up your family, your wives, and everything. Okay. Oh shucks, I was looking forward to our talk. I was looking forward to it. Aw. I would not spare no one. I wouldn't. You have been colonizing the original man for far too long, and gonna have the nerve to look at me directly in the face and say, "You're wrong for stealing my." You didn't have your name on it. How you gonna come to my country and steal from me? Hey, Mahogany, I'm gonna come over to your house and not even take my shoes off. I'm gonna put my feet up on the coffee table. Oh, and before then, I'm gonna take some food out your refrigerator, and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna start snacking. I'm gonna start snacking. You probably is like, okay, keep sitting on that couch, but I'll be right back. You'll come back in that living room. Clank, clank. I'm like, now, you feel comfortable? It's like saying, it's like having muddy shoes and saying, F your couch, nigga, F your couch. That's what white people did. F your couch. They said, F your couch, nigga, F your couch. They put their feet up on the coffee table. And people don't like those type of talks. But it's necessary. It is the what was it? Not revolutionary, revelation. This is the revelation, the black revelation. This is the black revelations. This is the end times. All of our ancestors saying it's time to get our shit back. You've had it for too long. You have reigned for too long. It is time to get and collect. And sorry for the Marvel reference, but I am Adam Warlock, and it's time to collect. Whichever you stole from us, the farms, the animals, the pig, I want the pig too. That's why when he did this chant, when he did his chant, I'm talking about this guy. When he did his chant, and it was just a chant, Donald Trump was so afraid. He was so afraid, and he was making allegations. He was just making allegations and probably has some pictures that someone sent him, and he didn't look at it for reference. He didn't even check himself. He just looked at it and said, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh, look at these white farmers. They're getting murdered. Oh, and the president of South Africa is not doing anything about it. We must have a conversation." How do you know they got murdered by another white farmer? How do you know? So he puts on a tape. He's at the White House and he puts on a tape when Julian Channing, he says, "Kill the bull, the farmer." I played that. I ought to play that in my car. And he's like, he said, "Kill the white man." No, he didn't. He didn't say to kill the white man. I wish he would say it. Please, I would be bold enough if I was in my country, and if I had to say it, I would say it. I would say it.
Killed the white man. Yes, I would say it. I would say it. But he said killed the boy, the farmer. Killed the boy, the farmer. He didn't mention any color. He didn't mention any ethnicity in it. He didn't even mention any gender. But when the president doesn't understand, and he will never understand because he's a hypocrite, he's a liar, he's a thief, he's a hustler, he's all these things. Now he's a dictator. This is what you get.
Very few people turned up. And the suspicion is that they do not have title deeds. Just before 1994. So don't individualize a big problem. It's like when I say there is racism in this country and you come to, but I'm not a racist, I'm not talking about you. If you're not racist, why what? But generally there is a problem. Racism is not about an individual. It's a group problem. It is an institutionalized problem. We have to deal with it. And if we don't talk about it, we'll because we have not recognized it as a, now we will not be in a position to solve that problem. You can't solve the problems which you have not identified. So let us not be a sensitive. I mean, you are a graduate, you are a doctor, you own a piece of property. I've got a black doctor here with me, very young, also a graduate, and he owns property. We're not taking your property only. We're talking also his property, the flat he owns, a flat side. His flat is almost about a black or white. All of us, we need to surrender our land to the state and give that state an opportunity to end. I'm proposing a peaceful solution. You refuse it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malema. Mr.
Malema. Sweet music. Sweet music.
Has had his
do we have leaders of that today here in the United States? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't consider Jesse Jackson or any of them people to be my leader, at least. I'm not. Oh, damn! I wish we could have had one of them talks. I'll tell you. But I'm so excited to even hear that. Just hearing that from him, it's refreshing. It's like, any day now. Any day now. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Do what you have to do. If they don't want to leave, hell, move them out. Hell, call me. I'll help you move. I ain't gonna be as nice. Like, get your ass out. Get your ass out. Get this baby out of here too. Yes, the white baby. Get the white baby and the mother and the father. I'll start my own chant. People often say, why are you so racist? Here we go with the reverse racism thing again. Why are you so racist? You remember that other day? Mahogany, you weren't here. I think you were, but Lisa was here. Remember, Lisa? When I had these white boys come up here and start chastising me about what I said about Nick Fuentes at that one time? Right? I often said this: if you have a if there was a problem, if you had a problem with me saying anything derogatory, look at the past and tell me. Look at the what happened then for you to for the problem to be caused. Look at the problem then and tell me that I'm not wrong in my statement. Just tell me I'm not wrong. Just tell me when you look at back how did you confiscate the land? You didn't buy it. You just confiscated it. Oh, nobody's home. So, but now we're coming to collect. I can't get on stream. It's a new. You can go through it through Google. I think either Google or Bing. Try that. But I guess everybody's phone is on the fritz, even mine. But either way, I've had fun. I've had fun. That line right there was enough for a refreshing, cool beverage. And speaking of cool beverage, please donate to the coffee fund. Please donate to the Cash App. Please donate to the Super Chat or whatever. It would be much appreciated. Be much appreciated. So at this point in time, I guess we got time for one more. So I've been playing it. It's just a lot going on in LA that we got distracted from. It's a lot going on in LA. There's a lot going on, and I want anybody who's in the LA area, please be careful. Please be careful. Man, I want a new phone. As a matter of fact, everybody donate to my new phone fund. No, I'm just kidding. A coffee will suffice. A coffee will definitely suffice. Let's see. Did you figure out that other situation, Lisa? You know, the other situation we were talking about yesterday? Please. Ooh. Black America is done. Uh-oh. Ooh. This is some juicy stuff right here. This is some juicy stuff, but I'm gonna play this one. This is some juicy shit that I just came across. Oh my God. Fair use. This is
of our political problem stems from the fact that we don't understand the difference between being loved and being used. Being needed versus being appreciated. Who can understand and understand what I'm saying right now? How many of you have people in your life that need you to appreciate you? Can I get an ashe? If there's any African in the universe who understands what I'm saying, can I get an ashe?
I already seen that one. Managers, members kicked out of the. Ooh. I have to look at that. I'll have to look at that. And if by the way, if anybody goes to see the new Superman movie, I question your sanity. But I know the kids are gonna want to see the next new Superman movie, which is it's whatever. I'm just sick of white Supermen. I'm just so sick of white Supermen. So let's play the rest of this clip so we can get up on out of here.
People.
in the family. But I'll be honest with you, I don't go to family reunions no more. You want to know why? Because when he was pushing all that shit, everybody in his large ass family is sitting there watching this man distort the truth. Anybody could have.
Just in case you didn't pick up on it, Umar is going down his lineage, down his family tree, and naming it without a script, without a piece of paper. And what he did on Roland Martin was very honorable. And they're still saying that he is not a part of the Frederick Douglass family, which he never said he was a part of. He said he was kin. What does kin? Look up the word kin and see what that, and come back to me and say what that means. But anyway, and so there are people to this day, even the lunatics. Oh, I almost forgot. Lisa, check this out. I woke up late today, around 12 p.m., right? And I did a Lynn and Honor show, just the Lynn and Honor show, right? Just calling him out for the lunatic that he is. And guess what I found? I want you to take a wild guess. This dude has been going to this dude's Instagram. Let me see. Is this it? No, this is not it. Let's see. I got to go a little further. But he basically goes on to his Instagram, and then finally he gets blocked, and all of a sudden he gets upset. You're getting upset because he blocked me on Instagram. Damn, he's a blocksmith. He don't likes me no more. I'm so sick of this. He don't likes me. I wonder why, you freak. Anyone who continuously follows me on Instagram, I don't like them following me on Instagram, is like, what's the purpose? Why are you following me on Instagram? That's the wrong one. Stop following me. I don't even know you. And he's talking about, I was following you more. I did this and I did that. Oh, here it is. I used to follow. He don't want to follow me no more. He don't know you, fool. He does not know you. So here's what I came across. I found it for you. There you go.
But y'all sure call me up when the school's messing with your son. Did you make a donation to my school? Oh, not yet. Bye.
And I would go. This has been going on for over a month. You know, but I had another Instagram page that I would go on from time to time, and I checked out when I was able to get onto his Instagram page, and I said, "What's going on here?" So I just typed it, yesterday I typed it in Google. I said, what does it mean if it tells you that the page is no longer available or whatever? And Google AI said, that means you're blocked.
This dude is goofy.
And that really, really broke my heart.
This dude's a goofball.
because I believed, okay, I believed in my heart that Umar and we were friends.
No, you weren't.
So it's been a rough day today. It's been really, really rough. How to take that? I don't know if that means Umar is upset at me. He doesn't like me anymore.
He don't know you.
But Umar, why did you have to do that? At least you could have told me.
Told you what?
For over a month, I thought it was something wrong with my browser. But I figured it out. And it really, I don't appreciate that. I do have a post. Was Umar Johnson right for blocking me on Instagram? I really would like to get your opinion because I haven't done anything to Umar on Instagram. I don't comment on any of his videos. I never have. I don't like them. I don't thumbs down nothing. None of that. I never reached out to him. I've never, sent him an email. None of that. Now he's reached out to me.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know that? He's also sent his Goonie Goons to do stuff. Right?
No,
you guys know that?
No, he didn't.
And of course, he doxed my. I didn't like this because his Instagram page.
No one other than people in the Umar sector, and he don't even claim none of that. None but a few people ever doxed you. Stop it, boy. Ain't nobody even did nothing to you but a few people in the Umar sector. You have got to be kidding me. Umar never doxed you, never mentioned anything about you or your children. Or your wife. Knock it off. Jesus Christ.
Personal information years ago. Hit the one. But so, Umar, if you big and bad to do that back in the day because you was mad because I was exposing you as a fraud, if you was big and bad back then, why you gonna block me now?
You did say something about him, though. And you actually got into his business, and that's when he actually said something. That was 13 years ago, give it 10 years max. That was years ago. You don't even know who you are. He don't. You take it, you get all offensive. You know what it is? You know what it is? You sweet. You so sweet. You sweet on him. And I know you want some of King Kong, don't you? Yeah, I know. It hurts. It actually hurts that you can't get on Instagram or on his Instagram. Because every time you get on Instagram and you see that big frame, pause. You see that big old frame. And you see that that unk, you want a piece of that, don't you? I mean, you ditched that white man for that unk. I mean, I didn't know you were that sweet. I didn't know that. I mean, but you do realize he's a heterosexual, right? You do know that, right? Yeah, you didn't know he was sweet. That's why he stalks his family so much. I mean, Jamal Johnson, usually military vets they get that PTSD and they snap on you. But Jamal Johnson want nothing to do with you. But you get to the source. And mind you, you never had a conversation. He has never sparked a conversation. He never had a conversation with you. Never. But he's so mad of the one thing he have at home is like, why do I get stuck with my wife? Why does he get all the sweet caramels? I want his caramel. That's why you've been stalking him for 16 years, you dumbass. No wonder you shady. I want him to feel my baldness. Dude, just get out your square. He does not want you. He's not like that. At all. At all, sir. At all. But you constantly making videos and you act like you're doing something for the community, doing something for your Cookie Crush Coon chat, but you're really not, because all you're doing is displaying how weird you really are. But again, We-On-Loc, we understand. Kind of, sort of. But I'm with it. I'm not with it, but I understand how you feel. A person blocks me on Instagram. I mean, you have more than just one Instagram page, which is, I mean, now that I just figured that out, now that I just said it, you have one Instagram page with nothing but Umar content, and then you have another page with nothing but, guess what? Umar content. If the Cookie Crush Coon chat don't find it weird, I don't have any words for them. They're just sick. I ought to just to get a preview of what's going on right here and right now. Just to get a little snippet, a little preview of what's going on right now. You got it. Hopefully he doesn't see me. Hopefully. Maybe.
They don't know we don't have that money because they listen to them idiots on the internet.
Yeah, but see, Umar, there's over $2 million missing. Okay,
Boom!
It's incredible what this guy's doing.
Boom! Claiming he collected 3.
You don't have the money. Look at him. He up here tweaking and shit, clicking
on the internet.
Weirdo stuff. Weirdo. He needs more than help. He needs more to get some help. I'm like, Jesus, do you not go to sleep? This is his 4th. Wait, how long has this been? Let's see. Is it 1, 2? This is incredible. Going to his page, he has done 465 videos. 465 videos of nothing but Umar content. Most of it Umar content. Do you find that not weird? And some of the other content he's thrown in the garbage. That is sick. But again, I understand. Apparently, this guy, the guy knows him so much. You don't know shit. Guy knows him extendedly. That's why he has that little fake ass chart of his. And it's sick how you go through the father, how you go through the dead wife just to get to him. It's sick. It's just sick. You gonna make fun of his dead wife, like his dead mother? Like, what are we doing? Not Umar's original, not Umar's biological mother. Jamal Johnson remarried, right? But I guess allegedly she passed away or something like that. But you gonna go and put up Jamal's pictures and say he went to this school. I'm going to expose him
for the fraud that he is. 16 years later. 16 years ongoing, actually. That's weird, dude. I would have had you, dude. I would have sued you for everything that you have, which ain't much, because your wife pays for everything. Your spiritual wife, quote unquote, spiritual wife pays for everything. And rumor has it she's on Section 8. But I don't really care for it. That's not my get down. I could really care less, you know. I don't usually touch all that. But when you go back on your word, when you primarily go back on your word, it's a problem. It's a problem. So he's stalking him right now as we speak, and of course he's gonna come up with another video soon, right after this. And he has been on extended leave for, let me check.
I've been saying 2.6, 2.7.
He's only been on for 4 hours. He's only been on for 4 hours. He'll be on for another 5, 6, possibly 7 hours. Playing old clip. Well, he just played the newest one, the one I just played. He's just playing old. He'll play that clip and he'll play old clips, and he'll go back to 2010, 2009. I'm like, I hate to ask, are you beating off to him? Pause. Are you actually sodomizing yourself? Oh, you are a weird bastard. Umar, if somebody go and clip this and give this to Umar, please. Somebody do it. Say, dude, E5, you got to do something about this guy. You really do. You really got to do something about this weirdo. He's a fucking weirdo. How is it that you're married at 5 children? And your only interest is a guy that you never met. Hi. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I mean, it's just freaking weird. Instructor Logan. Oh, ooh. Godly.
$16 just in shit that he allegedly spent money on, including $400,000 for these trap bandos. So the idea that Umar he hasn't raised $1 million, back in 2016, he said that he raised $1 million already. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But you're right. What he could have done is work himself, save his own money, so he has skin in the game, and he could have continued to raise money, and it could be still raised to 25, but not at trap bandos and $1,000. If y'all really think about it, Umar's wasted. It's more than $600,000. I would say it's probably close to $700,000. He's wasted about $700,000. He also has to pay all these fees for owning these buildings. That there's storm drain fees and all this other shit. Then he also has what's called when he's on the vacant property list, there that every single month. This guy, he's wasted about $700,000 just by purchasing these abandoned buildings. Yeah, but he showed you down in black people. He buying abuse money on the soap. Anyway,
what?
Thanks, Instructor Logan. It's just a big old mess. Let's finish this up. User 225 says, notice he doesn't say how much money he has now. He absolutely doesn't. No, he never gives an update. Last time was 2020. Okay, that's 5 years ago. Overall, he hasn't raised $1 million, even though in 2016 he said he raised $1 million. He's a con man. All right, let's finish up. Here we go for sure. Goodness.
That's an understatement. That's an understatement.
It hasn't been a need. And the reason it hasn't, no problem.
Right.
On the internet,
but
3 mil, both my schools be up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
But couldn't the books be open to these potential investors? Like, meaning like, I open up books to you to show you what we're working with, to actually show you where we at.
Well, like that. It should be open to the donors, because he has a nonprofit organization. It should be public record, important fact. It's the one. But Umar, he's not going to do that, because people were, if he was honest with how much money he's raised, it would become very apparent. It become apparent to people very quickly that he's a con man, and most of the money he's spent on himself. It's a doggone shame. It's amazing that people still believe in it.
Bullshit. You can Google this shit, how much he spent. It's Googleable. Because everybody knows how much money he's paying in child support. Everybody knows how much money he's paying in child support. So it shouldn't be that hard to Google FDM Umar Johnson FDMG and how much he's spending on, how much he spent from 2020 on up. Shouldn't be that hard. Pause. It's crazy.
Have been sufficient for us to get the job done for the small school.
But how much money have you raised? So he doesn't tell. Doesn't tell anymore.
You keep saying that.
And again, I have him on record saying that the school was about $400,000, and that renovations were going to cost. First, he said $125,000. Then he bumped it to $200,000. He said $350,000.
He don't even know.
Okay, but see, let's say that it was $350,000 just to do renovations on one side of the street. Okay, if we go and we look at his IRS filings, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
You've been saying the same thing for 10. You've been saying the same thing for 9 years. You've been saying the same thing for 9 whole years. 9 years. The renovation, the gym is already renovated. He just got to get a permit for it. The only person that can play basketball in the gym is him. He's got to get permits. Once the school is up for a certificate of occupancy, that's it. That is it. But you want to know so bad where the money goes. He's raised about $3 million. That's a lie.
To have renovated that half the side of the street, and the school should be open. Hit the one. See, there's so many different ways we can look at this financially or statistically, because that's how I like to look at this. So we can prove that Umar Johnson is nothing more than a liar and a con artist, and that he's tricked off most of this money. That's why he's not going to tell people how much money he's raised. He's not going to do it here. Everything is up in the air, but he wants a con man, and most of the money he spent on himself over the last 11 years.
Wrong with you?
But couldn't the books be open to these potential investors? Like, meaning like, I'd open up books to you to show you what we're working with, to actually show you where we at.
Oh yeah, if I find some money, that ain't no.
Right.
But everybody come to the you feel me?
Have you brought it to them though?
It hasn't been a need. The reason it hasn't been a need is the donation. You remember, the people complaining about the school are YouTube being struggle streamers, not serious businessmen or women, just coons. You see what I'm saying? Who've never donated.
Okay, Umar, you're not a serious business person, period. Okay, you're a con man and a charlatan. And there are plenty of people who've donated.
Guess what, homeboy?
And I'll tell you a secret. He doesn't need money for the small school anymore. He said it himself. He doesn't need money for the smallest school. He needs money for the big school, the high school, though. But he needs to get the small school open first. Then we'll worry about what's going on over there. But niggas like you don't and haven't donated to his cause. So why are we so? See, you were so up in arms about what was his name? Jam Master Jay or whatever his name is. You were so up in arms about Tariq Nasheed. You were so up in arms about so many of these people, even the people from New York. You were so up in arms, but you couldn't even find the content strong enough to go after these. But Umar's the easiest because Umar's not going to come after you. But if Umar was that dog, if Umar had dog in him like that, which I know he does, oh yeah, there'll be content. And I will be covering it too. This is stalkish.
What in the world is going on? We're going to leave it right there. But we went way over time today. What in the world? We're going to pick up right there tomorrow. Okay, matter of fact,
see what I mean? 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 We're gonna pick up on it tomorrow, which means there's going to be another. Is Georgia here? I thought Georgia was here. I thought Georgia was here. You scared me. You simping for him ain't the wait. You simping for him ain't the same. No, I want you. I want you to find the definition of simping and get back to me, Brett. Because young bucks like you always like to take up for those who act very, very weirdish. I'd rather be simpish than weirdish. I'd rather be simpish than weird, because I can make one documentary. I can make one video stick. I can make one video stick if I wanted to. I could bring out all the things that this man has done over the past and make it stick and not even do another video. But he's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And for the simple fact that people like, I don't know if it's you or not, but people like you think that it's okay to stalk one man for 16 years, that's crazy. That's crazy work. That is crazy work. That's crazy. Not even Anton does stuff like, not even Anton would do anything like this. He will find content for 1 or 2 days and that's it. I get upset. I get upset when him doing that. But I can safely say that Anton is not a stalker like that. He's not. If something were to come up, then yeah, he would actually do a video on it. Something worth doing content on. But this dude, I don't know how you don't see it. It's okay for you to not like somebody. It's quite okay. It's okay for you to not like Umar. It's okay. I don't care if you don't or you do. But you gotta see the writing on the wall here. This dude's a Looney Tune. Lennon has always been a Looney Tune. Why do you think? You just look up the videos of him being obsessed with this guy for so long, and it's not just about money. He actually wants him. Yeah, he wants him. But Umar's not no. He loves sisters, right? He ain't into
into the whatever it is that y'all call it. So it is. I mean, it is what it is. Say, think, whatever you want, but whatever. Y'all salute. This world is nuts, man. I ought to call Lennon out of the Jeffrey Dahmer. I ought to call Lennon out the Jeffrey Dahmer of the Cookie Coon organization, because not only he has done this, but Anti-Afro has done this. She's had 1,000 videos, still to this very day, on the same guy. He follows it up, and he goes with the same premise. And so far, it says it's been 456 videos on the same guy. I never made 460 videos on one person. I made over, let's see, I think I made over, I would say 1,000 videos. Let me check. Let me check. 1,000 videos. I'm gonna review my own stuff here. I made over the same significant amount. I made 486 videos, but not all of them are Lennon. Get the point? That shows how low. Yeah, of course. And then he gets upset when people get on him. Oh. But yeah, Lennon. I'm a Lennon loves him some Umar. Literally. That's why he got blocked from Instagram. But he'll make another page. He'll possibly maybe make another page. That's how crazy he is. He's like that little 13-year-old kid who can't get away from making fun of someone until he gets punched in the mouth. Oh, you don't like me no more. Why you blocked me? Well, it's because you did some stuff that was 10 years ago. You did some stuff. You said some stuff about me. So, should have never came after him. But that one time that was it for you. Then you started acting all bad and bold. Oh, fuck Umar. That's fuck. If it's fuck Umar, then 56 videos later, it's still fuck Umar. Pause. I don't get it. But we've hit the mark. We've had our fun. We've hit the mark, and I'm gonna possibly do something Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I'm off for the next week. I'm off for the next week, and depending upon my schedule, I have a new schedule coming up. It all depends on what I'm doing. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm on vacation too. Like I said, like, share, subscribe to the channel, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that like or smash it. As Shish Trish would say, smash it. And become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Now, I'm hungry. I gotta get something to eat. Y'all take care of yourselves and stay away from LA.